it's okay, so let the toxic people go. Your peace within is more priceless than a pearl. You got to be happy, cause life's just way too short. Don't stress the little things, they will only waste your time. Just take it easy, easy like a nursery rhyme. And I'm singing, I know it's gonna be okay. So I wanna see you smile today. Hey, you just gotta be happy, man. Good days, bad days, it's all part of life. But you must keep the groove on and enjoy every single day. I'm sure you've had some happy days before. So what makes you think you can't have more? Keep on fighting and you'll see. You will soon see rainbows. Hey, come on. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ba-dum ba-dum boom. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ba-dum ba-dum boom. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ba-dum ba-dum boom. La 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 la. La 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 la. Beautiful clouds, where you are, there are beautiful clouds, where you are, oh, oh.
Here are some stories from the regions. Motorists and commuters using the 67-kilometer Gnakwanta to Tako Road should brace themselves for heavy traffic as the contractor working on the road announces 6 months of rehabilitation works. Speaking at an Axle Control Forum in Takwa, CEO Theodore Adimazoya revealed plans to collaborate with the MTTD and other stakeholders to roll out traffic management measures within a month.
So as road users on the corridor, we will encourage that the amount of speed at the current usage will have to reduce in order to give the working team enough time to manage most of the issues. That first phase of construction, which is the repair of the current pavement, will take about 6 months. We want to finish this before we get into the rainy season, which is a major rainy season in July, August.
Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways and Tamale North MP Hassan Suine says technical assessment reveals that the road is carrying more than 3 times its design load.
It is not common practice for a contractor to undertake the rehabilitation of a failed road at their own cost, purely out of commitment to national interest and a long-term partnership. This decision reflects a profound sense of patriotism, professionalism, and corporate responsibility. It demonstrates confidence in Ghana's road sector and respect for the people who depend daily on this corridor.
Western Regional Minister Joseph Nelson questioned why overloading persists despite axle load bridges on the stretch and called for accountability going forward.
As Regional Minister, I'm excited that the road is going to be redone so that it stays in good shape. We've had a Grand Bantaway Bridge with staff there, and still we have this overloading happening. And I think that going forward, people should be held accountable for things that happen in this country that are not right.
Also in the Volta region, the Millennium Supporters Union of Ghana has launched its Volta Regional Chapter in Ho, boosting organized sports for football and other sporting activities in the region. The event, part of preparation for the FIFA World Cup 2026, featured a lively street procession of its members. The ceremony at Maoli Senior High School also inaugurated Asogoli and Ho chapters. National leaders including President Alhaji Abubakar Dawudu and Coordinator Alhaji Shaibu Abbas urged discipline, unity and dedication among members.
There's nothing like we and them. We are working hand in hand for misuse. We are not here for Some of you will join the regional executive. You are going to work with all the regions. Ketu South, Ketu East, Ife South, Ketu North, Akati North, Akati South. I mean, everywhere in Volta region. General
MP Edem Kofi praised the union's expansion and called on members to demonstrate unity and patriotism.
Once you are here, it means that you are accepted to be a member of the association. Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, let us take it that every association has its rules and regulations and other commitments that makes you a member in good standing. Let us endeavor to make sure that we meet the demands of the organization so that the organization will run its full course and also help you to also benefit from the fruits of the organization.
Volta Regional Co-Chairperson is Akusika Penny.
Today, the Volta Regional Supporters Union, which is Millennium Supporters Union, has been launched. And so, Volta should look forward that every sportsman, every sports team that emanates from Volta, playing home or away, is going to have massive support from the region. This is what it means.
The new chapter is expected to energize supporters and strengthen Ghana's presence at major tournaments. For more stories, kindly log on to our website at www.metrotvonline.com and follow us on all social media platforms at Metro TV Ghana.
I say by 2030, there are not going to be any raw mineral ores leaving Ghana. You're not going to ship manganese ores out of Ghana raw. You're not going to ship bauxite ore out of Ghana raw. You're not going to ship iron ore out of Ghana raw. You must process all that locally. That is the only way we can provide opportunities for our young people. I say by 2030, There are not going to be any raw mineral ores leaving Ghana. You're not going to ship manganese ores out of Ghana raw. You're not going to ship bauxite ore out of Ghana raw. You're not going to ship iron ore out of Ghana raw. You must process all that locally.
From nowhere, Monsieur, world market price, BB, and you know, all be lie. And you know, what so? For the first time in the history of Ghana, cocoa equafo, omo price per bag, yateso. Ebin sida. It has never happened. Even during Gold Coast, when the colonial masters attempted to do politics with cocoa, if you recall the history of NLM, Asante Hine Chame Bafo Osayako, to go and read. He took the matter up with cocoa farmers because he himself was a cocoa farmer and fought the colonial government. That he NTSS, Modi cocoa, air England. Even then, our colonial masters respected the cocoa farmers. Then today, our friends have money to buy presidential jet, but you can't find money to pay cocoa farmers. When Ghana had this economic crisis after the COVID, and by the way, everybody knows that COVID was a shaker where over a year there was no activity. In such difficult circumstances, Akufo-Addo and his government managed to pay every public sector worker. Not a single month. And the police ni bi ni pay amba, soldier ni bi ni pay amba, teacher ni bi ni pay amba, nurse ni bi. Wa hwe mo ye aban adwuma nyina. Papa we ene na ban make sure say busumi bia etioka. And ahuche buy. Ahuche buy and say, oh, obi akoto investment, a buying investment, or say mato bond. Ebi anipano or the 10,000 and or the koto bond. Or expect to say bosum mien sentem biano, obenya interest. Ebia 2,000. The buy and say, ahuche buy no, a buy en fanisi nisanka capital no. Nipanisi kateno, the government did not touch it. What the government did was on the interest. What the NDC guys call the haircuts. Government negotiated that, look, we are in crisis. So please bear with us. Your principal is intact, but we want to reschedule your interest so that we could lower the interest, not your principal. Even so, we pay the hard price for it, correct? Our friend said, Omunti Vida.
President Mahamas Menkancha Mode. Why Yamena Duma, NDC Bababe, Neyababe, Oko, Yawatum Papi, Mawakuma,
and I believe the cocoa farmer deserves a fair price. And I know His Excellency the former president quoted me previously that I had said the cocoa farmer deserves 6,100. I'm not running away from that fact. I said it on the floor, and I backed it with the world market price in the city at the time, and still maintain that the cocoa farmer deserves 6,100. I've not run away from that position.
I have given my cocoa, and I have not been paid because we had some 50,000 that did not have buyers, and also you also had cocoa out there that because the buyers have stopped making orders and bringing in money, you could also not purchase. So you have people who say that they have cocoa, there's no money to buy. Some also say that I've given my cocoa, I've not been paid. So this explains it. But the liquidity to do the purchases comes from the buyer. So when the buyer finds your crop too expensive and they move out, you do not have liquidity to continue purchasing. And that is the model that we believed could not go beyond 25-26. Unfortunately, we were 6 months short of when we feel the impact severely. And if we also had a pricing mechanism, then what would have happened was that when the prices went up, the farmer and everybody would have enjoyed. And when the prices changed Everybody, like we see in petroleum. If it goes high, it comes down, we all enjoy it and we're happy. If it goes up, we all know that these are the factors that are so we must pay. When it comes down, we expect that it comes down as well. And nobody will come and tell us that they are under recovery, so they cannot pass it on to us. You know, so this is what happened. And you can understand the frustration of farmers and the pain of farmers. They work so hard. They work so hard. They have harvested the cocoa. They have released it to you. They can't find money. And as for many of the farmers out there, they don't even know that there's some funding model. So it is not you who is providing the fund. It's not you. They know that the cocoa board nema cocoa akrachi for sika no more better cocoa. So when cocoa akrachi for tell them that sika new better cocoa, it means that his cocoa board is not giving money. So obviously all the focus will be on you to release the thing and all that. But of course, once this came, we have two options. One, or two things to think about. How do you deal with those who have supplied the bean and have not been paid? You need to find a way of finding liquidity to pay them. So that's one of the things that Cabinet had to deal with, and Cabinet has dealt with it decisively. And I'm expecting that in the next few days we'll be able to have liquidity in the system to deal with that. So the cocoa that we are taking over, and not because what we have taken over is what we are responsible for. Okay. Then now, how do you also bring the buyers back? Or how do you then deal with the rest of the cocoa that is out there to purchase? So there are two options. Either you do your pricing in a way that is competitive to let the buyers now find your pricing as competitive and come back and provide the funding, or you find a different way of purchasing the bean. Cabinet looked at it, and Cabinet's position, looking at all the scenarios, was that, look, let us find a way of encouraging our processors to take the rest of the crop, to buy the rest of the crop for processing. So that's the decision taken. But how do we avoid this thing? Moving forward, what are the reforms that we need to do to ensure that the farmer is no more cheated, as happened in 24-25, where the farmer, so I say that perhaps there's no farmer in Ghana who can one day say that once upon a time in 2024 and 2025, prices of cocoa went as high as this. I built this house, I bought this land, or I bought this car, or I did this thing. And no farmer can do that, because a decision that was taken led to a rollover of 333,767 tons of cocoa, which was sold at $2,600, which then made sure that it brought the weighted average declared, and therefore the farmer share down so much, so that when farmers in other origins were benefiting fully from those high prices, the Ghanaian cocoa farmer could not benefit. So how do you avert this? You avert this by them bringing in a new pricing mechanism, which ensures that when the prices are good, the farmer enjoys it. When they are not so good, the farmer and everybody knows that this is the reality. And that is why Cabinet then looked at the issue of the new funding model, the new pricing mechanism, which obviously would also have a focus on value addition. Because once you have this new funding model and you are not required to go and sell most of your raw bean, then you can be able to fully utilize the processing capacity of your companies here, and even entice them as a result of that to expand, or even to get other people to also come in and invest.
All of this has come about because of the reset that Cocoa Board did. And that is why, respectfully, we ask the President to relieve the Cocoa Board CEO of his responsibilities at this point in time. Number two, we are asking the government that in previous times when cocoa prices fell and the government absorbed the shock and protected the cocoa farmer, the NDC government should absorb the cost of what they have done and protect the cocoa farmer and restore at least the 3,625 that they promised. This 2,800 or so that they are promising is totally unacceptable. Already we are receiving messages from cocoa farmers who say that if this is what is going to happen, they are going to demonstrate in a number of these. And if they do, we in this caucus, we will join them on the streets to do this demonstration. We thank you for this.
We talk too much and we complain too much. And most times when we even get the opportunity, we hardly make any meaningful changes. You must realize that there's no time in history than now that you have a unique moment and opportunity to assert and assume leadership. And you must realize that leadership to a large extent is not bestowed, it's not handed over to you. You must prepare yourself for leadership and be able to accept it. There's vacuum, leadership vacuum in Africa. In the public sector, there is. In the private sector, there is. And that leader can be you. And should, in fact, be yourself.
Thank you very much for joining the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Today is the 18th of February. 2026. Welcome to the show once again. My name is Aldo Moore, and it's always a pleasure to come your way. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning. This is the day the Lord has made. Indeed, we're glad in it. I want to say big thanks to Almighty God for making it possible for us to return here and join the nation's conversation on the big issues making the rounds in our dear country, Ghana. And I'll go straight ahead and look at the front pages of the newspapers that we have today, and also look at some of the stories that have been published by the online portals. And as you do know, I do City Newsroom, I do My Jaw Online, I do Ghana Web, and then I do yours truly, and your favorite and my favorite, MetroTVOnline.com. So let's start with the newspaper. So Daily Graphic this morning reports that the government pays 10 billion cedis DDEP interest. As victims of jihadist attack expected to be evacuated, Trade Ministry seeks strategic investor to revive Commander Sugar Factory. And as AAG demands clarity over billboard demolition exercise, that's on the front of today's Daily Graphic. The Ghanaian Times says that Burkina Faso fatal attack, President Mahama orders evacuation of injured traders. MOFA Fori signed a landmark deal to digitize Agric. There's police rearrest suspected cop killer. IGP AG moved to compensate multimedia journalists after 8 years. The Daily Guide says that anti-LGBTQ bill back in Parliament. There's a Kariminga barrier attack, police killer arrested. Cocoa Board cut salaries by 20%. Management calls for calm. SkyTrain trial, court orders ex-secretary to produce board minutes. Woman, 2 sons killed in bloody fight. So that's Daily Guide. The New Crusading Guide, cocoa price cuts lawful and necessary, Mahama Yariga defense. Bring back old cocoa price, Kojopon Nkrumah tells Mahama. Slain tomato traders in Burkina terrorist attack. Ignored security roadmap still hunts nation. Mahama mourns slain Ghanaian tomato traders, consoles families. There's Tanko Kwamiga, 2 others face intensifying questions over $20 million gold trade scandal. More boots for Agric. As the MOFA, that's Ministry of Food and Agriculture, and the Fori signed deal to digitize agriculture. That's with the New Crusading Guide. The Insight says Mahama speaks on reparations for Africans. The U.S. using blackmail and coercion to intensify its blockade, says Cuba. And as SMG condemns foiled coup plot in Burkina Faso, blames foreign links as he welcomes the extradition of Damiba. And there's also Hamas reaffirms support for Iran as possible U.S. aggression looms. Albert Asiedu Boadu honored for promoting employee well-being and a love-centered workplace. Volta region. Rice farmers risk losing investments over lack of buyers. And that's for the front page of today's Insight newspaper. The Herald is reporting that Samuel Okudzeto others run from inheritance fraud case at appeals court. A Russian ambassador cast doubt on nationality of sex tape maker. His name is Vyacheslav, means glory of the testicles. Interesting, isn't it? Glory of the testicles. Anyway, I will not comment Bonzi's impact on Boston's corporate culture. And there's a U.S. embassy opens visa slots for Ghanaians. No $15,000 bond for applicants. Zebila police murder suspects drops name. Accra Times. Women empowerment, a critical driver of continental progress, President Mahama. NPP's mismanagement forces Cocoa Board staff to cut salaries as reforms to resuscitate the industry continues. And as Mahama calls for unity and strategic reforms, use AI and internet tools responsibly. Unimac Vice Chancellor. Role of radio is indispensable. That's Professor C. Kanku. The Ghanaian publisher, MOFA Fori, signed a deal to digitize Agric. There's Burkina Killings. Intim Fojo calls for swift action. Cocoa price reduction. Afenyo market demands reversal. There's Gold Board Hall selected gold buying license applications. And the Kariminga barrier attack. Murder suspect rearrested. The custodian, Gold Board puts on hold buying license applications, restore 3,625 per bag to cocoa farmers, minority tells government. Minority leader Lord's Barmier's post, primary unity drive. And the suspected killer of police officer at Zebila arrested. Suhini launches 1 million cedis fund to support 5,000 women entrepreneurs. Now there's enough tech STEMs students shine at Ghana's first robotic dining. The Business and Financial Times. Annual tomato imports hit 760 million cedis. Africa's water crisis exposes cost of debt-driven global financial system. And there's also cocoa bonds test market depths. There's a strengthening partnership for the future, restructuring our insolvent state-owned enterprises. That's with today's Business and Financial Times. Let's also look at the Economy Times. It says the bank lending rates fall in response to latest BOG benchmark interest rate cuts. There's renewed leadership spearheads, printer pays, reform agenda at Energy Commission. The GCB Bank prepares to launch non-interest banking window as board embarks on partnership visit to IIFM. Okay, that's with today's Economy Times. Now, let's look at the Daily Searchlight. It says police arrest suspect in murder of officer at Zebila. And as cocoa farmer Mahama wants reforms, there's also Burkina Faso reaches, let me look at this. So Burkina slaughters reaches 8 Ghanaians confirmed dead after extremist assault in northern Burkina Faso. SHS receives laptops. Teshi Presby SHS receives laptops from a German NGO. And there's a parliament reintroduces LGBTQ bill as Speaker clears path for debate. Ghana International Trade and Finance Conference, that's GITFIC, outdoors Professor Deodat E. Adenuchi as Director of Education Africa. Cocoa farmer Mahama wants reforms. And there's a police arrest suspect in murder of officer at Zebila. Metro Lens this morning is reporting that Zebila police killer arrested. There's NHIA strengthening cybersecurity vigilance. Gold Board suspends Tier 1, Tier 2 license applications amid trading reforms. Anti-LGBTQ plus bill back in Parliament. There's neonate stolen from Mamprobi Polyclinic. And that's on today's on the front of today's Metro Lens. Let's check out what the Inquisitor is also reporting. It says impending John Smiling Mafia reshuffle. Appointees jittery, arrogance non-performing ones to go. Mahama speaks at Ghana Tree Crops Investment Summit and Exhibition. Meet Mr. Nat Achampon, new Deputy Managing Director of BOSS. Ghana Lebanon in high security talks in Accra. And police rearrest suspect killer of officer. The Informer says the police rearrest suspected killer of officer. Terrorist attack on Ghanaian traders. National security must be proactive. Security Dawn urges as Bamia calls for deepening intelligence sharing. Mahama appeals to cocoa farmers to accept government offer. I will continue to hold government accountable. Apenyo marking. Illegal connections killing. Ghana Water Company accounts for 3.6 million revenue loss. Fifi Kwete blasts greedy bastards in NDC over dual positions. The Daily Statesman says Parliament reintroduces anti-LGBTQ plus bill, and there's 20 million cedis is a vote of confidence in Ghana's private sector recovery. Let's tidy up for 2028. John Boydu says MPP must signal full throttle. Minority demands restoration of old cocoa price. So let's now go online and check out what the online portals are reporting. So I'll start with the City Newsroom that says, government settles 10 billion cedis interest under DDEP. The car buyers reassess used imports as Chinese brands compete on price. Know your role. Dapia Makoto judges criticizing legal education bill. So what's on today's Major Online? It says government pays 10 billion cedis in DDP interest, signals strong fiscal health. And as Russia says, it's unable to confirm nationality of man in sexually explicit images with Ghanaian women. That's quite unfortunate, isn't it? Now let's look at the what's the name? Okay, so let's check out Ghana Web, right? Ghana Web this morning says that a Russian ambassador speaks on secret filming of Ghanaian ladies. What Bull God said about going to prison for the NDC, the Fugu fight, a lesson in identity, a reminder of our power in unity. And then if you go to Metro TV Online, that's Metro TV Online, it says Ghana and Nigeria joined forces against cybercrime, and there's police arrest 2 over motorbike robbery at Sibakon Down. Government announces emergency evacuation, travel restrictions after Burkina Faso attack, and as Ghana to face Mexico in crucial pre-World Cup friendly. All right, so that's it for the newspaper and the online portals. So please stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Don't go anywhere, please. I'll let you in on my guest.
Tanumo onunchoni ha o dagma ti echele we kun woni anutumo osole moji ake ba wona ni ko aya ko ba shosho eshe. Amen. Tanumo onunchoni ha o dagma ti echele we kun wani anutumo osole moji ake ba wona ni ko aya ko ba shosho eshe. Amen.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit Toothpaste. Wow. I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kelkits, happy smile.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach.
Now, Mr. Friendly once now.
Hey, that's a new. Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the accent. Me did it, Sasso spray. Mr. Friendly Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso. Come tum preko.
Auntie Saba, a woman body ma and came Guana Moba.
Oh, Jose, and I made the SMS. Canini Pano, Nasana, Michiana, what me. A drain I didn't quano, Kingdom Garlic Bitters.
No, more benefiting.
Me benefiting wine. Also, got told dear.
Abrewa, let's mama, our brand. Mishuve, one antique crana wabre. No Kingdom Garlic Bitters and any capsules. Nanya, what ya brebia.
Kingdom Garlic Bitters and the capsules. Assembly, a devil when I'm when I say.
Send your name, wife, company one personal. Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules and tea. Say, see, I'm password.
Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules. Emeni Chienya Sumdiebefi, Abrebia. Obebia o de pua hauno. Edroba kupa wihiane tremendous capsules. Tremendous capsules. Esiesie uma uye obesima. Edno yi ubenya bi obebia yeton robia. Kingdom Herbal. No challenger.
I'm a brand manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
It's time to believe in you. We are changing, so should you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. And in the valleys, keep your head up high. Dare to dream with Puma drinks. Puma, yeah. Believe it, you can achieve. Puma. Oh yeah, clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make me say, oh yeah, come alive. Let me hear you.
Puma Drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advert is FDA approved.
This is a chance of a lifetime. My opportunity. Your opportunity. Let's build Ghana together.
Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go.
Up Santa Claus and stand up to your honor. Those who have gilded the school with their fame. Our alma mater, a blessing upon her. They that remember the strength of their name. Others have labored and we share their glory. As to do exploit and add to their gain. Those who come after will take up a story. May be worthy of singing again. Play up, more join me, play up Santa Claus. So we go play up and play the game. Give nothing but your best and never think of rest. Play up for the school's great name. Play up Santa Claus. So we go play up and play the game. Give nothing but your best and never think of rest. Play up for the school's great name. Thank you. Provide 540 cubic meters of water to over 5,000 students and non-teaching staff on campus. Because you know Cape Coast, back then, water has been a challenge in Cape Coast. So based on the advice from the Global Executive Council of Atsade Boys, they decided that no, this is the project we want your year group to do. And we wanted a cheaper one, but they told us no, this is the necessity the school really has to take up. So that's the project we are doing. And so we are expected to execute it and hand it over to the school next year, March. And because 25 years after you are out of school, then you are customarily mandated to undertake a legacy project.
Because oftentimes these legacy projects are...
Every Thursday morning, the spirit of the school come alive. From the marching bands to the dining halls, the fear and the panic stories, the convoys to old students' pride, to unforgettable homecoming moments. Metro TV brings you the school's homecoming show live. Relive the glory, celebrate the legacies, reconnect with the memories that shape legends like you. The celebrations, the anniversaries, the homecoming activities, and the legacy projects that you embark in your school. The Metro TV School's Homecoming Show comes to you every Thursday from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. live on Metro TV. This is the School's Homecoming Show live on Metro TV.
Enti ene oba Western North edru opebrea obeka se wo srem enso enye sa na netie enti amakoko endua no enti me nsuru ye.
We have realized that 8 years after the MPP came into government, they have destroyed all our forests. During the Harmattan season in the Western North region, the impact is severe. Our new arrangement is that if you have a cocoa farm, we'll drill a borehole on your farm and provide a storage facility so you can conserve water during the rainy season.
Ezu. When for no 15, you better be 2 borehole near the Politan Kesi ho. It's your non toa. Na wo the host na wo the hwehwe gu kokoo no so se na be ya ebesoro ye ama yetimi anyeska.
All right, you are watching Good Morning Ghana on the Metro Television. My name is Aldo Moro. My guests are here. In fact, one of them is already seated. Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr. is a former managing editor of the Insight newspaper, a seasoned journalist and an elderly statesman. He's here with us this morning. Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. It is always a pleasure to have you join us. We're so grateful for your time. Now, first of all, how are you doing? And how's the family? How's everybody? All right. So, Uncle, you know, there's a lot happening, and I'm sure that you know, as somebody who reads the papers almost every day, if not every day, you have a fair idea of one of the most topical issues that are making the rounds in our dear country, Ghana. But before we even look at some specifics, I've seen on the front page of today's Insight newspaper, looks like and I am always excited about conversations about reparations, you know, because I'm reading your book. Unfortunately, I'm not done here because of other commitments. So far, so good. I'm almost 70% through. I should be done perhaps by before next week, Wednesday, when you come. And then I can ask a few questions and seek some clarity. But I noticed that in the front page of today's Inside News, so there's Mahama speaks on reparations for Africans. And I want you to share perspectives on what you think about what the president has been talking, even before we move to some other issues. Now, today's Insight, you see, said Mahama speaks on our reparations for Africans, and it says that President John Dramani Mahama has spoken extensively on the need for reparations to be paid to Africans, arguing that centuries of colonial abuse and exploitation make the demand pressing and unavoidable. President Mahama, who is the African Union champion on advancing the cause of justice and payment of reparations, spoke at the African Union Assembly in Ethiopia last weekend as he delivered highlights of his report on reparations. And the full text of the abridged reports has been reproduced by your paper. But let me go to page 3 and continue with what has been reported now. Now, it's that advancing the cause of justice and payment of reparations for Africans on Sunday, 15 February 2026. Now, I want to look at this portion. It says, throughout the year, the African Union asserted leadership at major global fora from Accra to Madrid, Luanda to Algiers, and culminating in the 9th Pan-African Congress in Lomé. These engagements have fundamentally reframed the global narrative. Reparations are no longer portrayed as backward-looking claims, but as forward-looking instruments for justice. And this one I'm quoting him. Justice, development, and global equity. I respectfully urge this assembly to 1. Strengthen institutional capacity, including the establishment of a dedicated reparations division within the Commission. That's his first suggestion. And I'll repeat that. Strengthen institutional capacity, including the establishment of a dedicated reparations division within the Commission. 2. Ensure sustained and predictable funding for AU reparations mechanism. That's the second one. And I repeat that again. Ensure sustained and predictable funding for AU reparations mechanisms. And then number 3, encourage member states to establish national reparations commissions and report annually on progress. And then number 4, advance continental legal frameworks on cultural, economic, and financial reparations. And also, that's number 4. Number 5, expand global alliances, particularly with CARICOM, and academic networks. Number 6, engage formally with historical perpetrator states in pursuit of apologies, restitution, and reparatory agreements. And then number 7, leverage digital technologies to preserve African historical memory and counter distorted narratives. And it says, Your Excellencies, reparatory justice will not be handed to us. Like political independence, it must be asserted, pursued, and secured through determination and unity. The decision to adopt a decade from time-bound observations to a sustained continental commitment. The decade of reparations provides a framework to consolidate institutional mechanism, deepen national and regional implementation, strengthen global partnerships, and ensure that reparatory justice remains a central and irreversible pillar of the African Union's political, legal, and developmental agenda. In this spirit, I call upon member states to continue to support my mandate as AU leader in advocating the cause of justice and the payment of reparations. As I announced during the 80th session of the UN General Assembly in September last year, I have initiated a process to table a resolution at the General Assembly in March this year, seeking global recognition of the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity. And I end here. I therefore request this Assembly to adopt our consequential draft UN resolution for onward tabling at the United Nations on the 25th of March 2026. All peoples of African descent, descent, have been waiting for this day. We are on the right side of history. Well, what do you make of this, Uncle Z?
Well, I mean, to start with, I think it's important to recognize that President John Dramani Mahama of Ghana is the AU champion on reparations. And therefore, to a very large extent, when he speaks for Africa.
Right.
So that's an important recognition. It is also a fact that right now, as we speak, there is unanimous approval of President John Dramani Mahama as the next AU chairperson. That's for 2027.
Right.
And then it is also a fact that the AU is considering, I think it's almost considered, that instead of a year of preparations, the AU should spend 10 years focusing on reparations. Now, there are important questions here. If President John Dramani Mahama should become, and I think he's going to become, the chairperson of the AU, will he still carry the mandate on reparations? That's an important question. So it may be that as chairperson of the AU, he may not carry the mandate of reparations, and that the AU may appoint a new chairperson or a new, focused person on reparations.
Right.
It may also well be that the AU may change, the way it works, and make President Mahama as chairperson of the AU for 2027 still the champion on reparations. These are open to speculation, but that's the situation.
Right.
Now, what we are discussing is a report that President Mahama presented to the last session of the AU on reparations. For me, one of the most striking things in the report is that the report refers to payment of reparations. And I think that's missing the point completely. Because reparations is not about the payment of money. You understand? Because to start with, no amount of money can pay for the crimes which have been committed against the African people, whether they are in the continent or on the diaspora. So the emphasis needs not be on money. I think what the emphasis need be on is resetting the world in order to give Africans a voice, in order for Africans to develop the necessary institutions and mechanisms for resolving the concrete problems which face them in the area of the economy, cultural emancipation, maintaining political sovereignty, and so on. That ought to be the focus.
Right.
You see, Africa is a continent of 1.4 billion people.
Right.
And there's no meaningful voice in the United Nations. Indeed, binding decisions are virtually taken in the Security Council where Africa has no voice. And I think it's important for us to ask why that is so. Now, that is so because in 1945, when these arrangements were being made, many of the African countries were colonized.
Right.
So they did not have a voice. They were not at the table. Okay. So the UN was created. 1.4 billion people have been denied a voice. The UN has created institutions like the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and the World Trade Organization, the WTO, where Africa's interest is missing, you understand? So it is this resetting that reparations should be about, the resetting agenda, resetting of the world and its institutions, that reparations should be about. Then there is the question of values and so on. I mean, the values, the international values, which find expression in international law and so on, have been impositions from the colonial regimes, you understand? To the extent that even in Africa, some of our leaders have bought these standards, these false standards. So, for example, in Ghana, depending on who is president, sometimes even traditional rights are frowned upon. So at state functions, European rights are what are performed because we think that traditional rights are inferior. This needs a reset, This needs a reset. There is the issue of artifacts, African valuable spiritual artifacts and so on, which have been stolen and are on exhibition in museums around the West. There's a certain clamor to bring back these artifacts, Then, even history itself is told in such a way as it denigrates the African and his values and so on. So there's a need to rewrite history. There's a need to establish mechanisms, for edifying the African standards and so on. So broadly speaking, this is what reparations is about. But President Mahama makes very interesting recommendations. And the first recommendation is that the AU itself should establish a dedicated reparations division. So he says that within the AU, there has to be some arrangement which focuses entirely on reparations and so on. I think that's a very sensible recommendation because we cannot be pursuing reparations under the auspices of the AU if the AU does not have a division which is focused on reparations. So that's a very sensible, recommendation from President John Dramani Mahama. The second thing that he advocates for is the building of a fund for reparations. Because really, I mean, struggling for reparations would involve some significant expenditure. There's the legal and historical research which has to be done. There is the mass mobilization across the continent and in the CARICOM states and so on. And all of this will require some funding. So the AU, it's important that the AU sets up some funds for that exercise. I've been at 2 AU heads of state sessions. I was at the one in Malabo, and I was at the recent one, which has not concluded yet, you know, in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. And to my shock and total disbelief, the AU is virtually controlled by Western NGOs. It's shocking.
Interesting.
You would find that in the various secretariats, many of the workers are described as volunteers. Where do they come from? They come from Western NGOs. They are paid by the Western NGOs. So their first loyalty is not to Africa, it's to Western NGOs. And that's a huge problem.
Right.
A lot of the funds of the AU are provided by Western NGOs and so on. I think we need to change that if we are to assert African independence and to pursue African causes. The AU must begin to think about how to make resources available for its own work and so on. So that, I think, is a very important, very important suggestion made by President John Dramani Mahama. The next one is that African countries, the 55 African countries, should establish national reparations commissions. And I think that's also important. You know, we cannot be working at the continental level, where at the national level, there are no institutions dedicated to the pursuit, you know, of the objectives of reparations and so on. So that is important. Then he talks about a continental legal framework for the struggle for reparations. And I think that's also excellent. I do know that the University of Witwatersrand in Johannesburg in South Africa, the legal department, has begun work with the African Lawyers Association in trying to develop the legal framework for reparations. Indeed, I was at their last meeting in Johannesburg last year, trying to establish the legal basis for this struggle, and actually preparing the grounds for seeking an advisory opinion, from international courts and so on. But I think that the AU needs to adopt that work as its own, because this is also about legality, and so it's important. And then he talks about global alliances. Of course, reparations doesn't just affect the African people, it affects the African diaspora. In fact, even in some ways more, in some particular ways more than it affects us on the continent. And therefore, it's important to build all of these global alliances. And I'm happy that the AU is in constant touch with the CARICOM states on this question of reparations, And then he talks about engagement with perpetrators. Yes, of course. We cannot reset the world without global engagement, especially with the perpetrators of slavery, colonialism, and today's neocolonialism. Now, for me, one of the most important developments so far is the fact that Ghana actually intends to place a resolution before the United Nations General Assembly seeking for the declaration of slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, as the worst crime against humanity. And this was the initiative of President Mahama and Ghana. Now, interestingly, at the last session of the AU in Addis Ababa, the AU has adopted that as its own effort. So all the 55 nations in Africa will be supporting President Mahama when he tables that resolution before the UN. I think it's a bold, good step. I also do know that there are efforts to rope in the CARICOM states, You know, so in the UN, I'm quite sure that this resolution will pass at the General Assembly, where nobody can veto a resolution. So I expect that this will be passed, and this will give a new momentum to the struggle for reparations. And then, Moro, as a result of all the work that is being done by many people and so on, 4 universities in Africa, I think in Kenya, in Tanzania, in Somalia, and one more country, have actually established faculties for the study of reparations. You know, wow. and that's huge. You know, for example, in some of the universities, I do know as a fact that my book on reparations has been accepted as a compulsory reading material. You know, and that is after Amazon actually decided or conferred a 5-star status on the book. Wow. You know, so some progress is being made, and I'm happy to be part of this effort. It's very tiring. It means that we are constantly traveling, you are constantly giving lectures and so on. And at my age, it's not a very comfortable position to be in. Yeah. But to the extent that it contributes to righting a historical injustice, I'm willing to give it my all, you understand? And I'm very, very happy so far at the performance of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. He appears to be leading this charge and leading it very, very well. And I think that his peers in the AU summit actually acknowledged that and heaped a lot of praises on him. I heard former President Obasanjo speak about President Mahama and the role he's playing in Africa in very, very high terms and so on. I heard Salif Johnson also do the same and so on. And the current chair of the AU was full of commendation. This is a fight we must not lose. And I'm confident that we would win this fight, even though it's going to take a bit of struggle. Right. You know, we shall definitely win this fight for reparations.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so thank you very much. Let me also say that our other guest is also joined us, representing the New Patriotic Party, is a man who is a former Greater Accra Regional Minister. He's also a former MP for Tema East, and also a former, he's a former Deputy Minister for Transport as well. I'm talking about the man Daniel Ni Kwate Titus Glover. He's joined us this morning. But remember that he's also aspiring to become the next national organizer of the New Patriotic Party. Oduba, I hope you're doing very well.
So long as we're alive, we give God the glory. We give God the glory for giving us the opportunity again to breathe. Good morning to your viewers. My big brother Kwesi, yourself and the team here in Metro TV.
Right.
So I'm fine. Now that the dates, the timetable is out there, all is set for my campaign to become the national organizer of my party.
Has started?
Yeah, so very soon we'll be hitting the road. Toward the whole country, the 276 constituencies, from the south to the north, to the east, to the west. So very soon they will be seeing me. It's about how to energize the base of our party, how to touch the hearts and minds of our people. Those who have a bit down, we need to bring them up and involve everybody. And like they know me, I'm a very principled person, very affable, down to earth, communicate well, respect everybody, because the rebuilding, reflections, and the recapture of political power is going to be on the shoulders of the national organizer and the other wings. So I can assure them that I'm coming with a very qualitative leadership, a leadership that we have learned from our elders. One is with me, my big brother. I've learned from them way back, 30 years back, and I can assure them that
we are coming to work. And for us, when we are working, we don't make noise. We want the results to show. So they should just keep calm, and in no time they will see me in their constituencies. So I want to thank the National Council, the NEC, the steering committee for coming up with the dates for the process to begin in March. So wish everybody well. Thank you very much.
I'm just wondering how daunting this task, how uphill this task is going to be, given the kinds of outcomes that you recorded in the last elections. Quite clearly, among some of the factors that won the NDC the elections was the fact that there was massive apathy, within your rank and file. And so I'll come back after the break and ask you how you intend to bring back the love that appears to have been lost among some members of your rank and file. You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Please don't go anywhere.
The festive season is here again, and your most preferred estate partner is giving you 25% discount on land sale. Yes, for our Bronya Asase promo, Estate Masters is offering this massive discount for outright purchases. This includes free indenture, free site plan, and a free site visit. So what are you waiting for? Rush now and secure a plot of land while it is still hot. Reach out to us using the numbers below or visit our website at www.estatemastersgh.com. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
Changing, so should you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. And in the valleys, keep your head up high. Dare to dream with Puma drinks. Puma, yeah. Believe it, you can achieve. Puma, oh yeah. Clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make we set the vibe. Oh yeah, come alive. Let me hear you.
Puma drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advert is FDA approved.
Zoomlion Private Services Limited, your waste management expert. One of the most innovative aspects of our business is our commitment to adopting cutting-edge technologies and sustainable practices in the waste management industry. We have invested in modern waste collection trucks, digital payment systems. We have also implemented efficient waste segregation systems and also developed strategic partnerships with our various stakeholders in the waste management value chain. I can talk about our innovative approach that enables us to reduce waste disposal costs, also minimize our environmental impact, and provide our clients with seamless customer service experience. We are the waste management experts.
Oh
new year, Ghana is opening a new chapter in green growth and investments. Tree Crops Developmental Authority, TCDA, presents the first Ghana Tree Crops Investment Summit and the first Tree Crops Industry Awards 2026. The 4-day event runs from the 17th of February to the 20th of February 2026 at the Accra International Conference Center. Morning sessions start at 8 a.m. and afternoon sessions start at 1 p.m. daily. Theme: Sustainable Growth through Tree Crops Investment, Resetting and Building Ghana's Green Economy. The summit brings investors, policymakers, agribusiness leaders, entrepreneurs from cashew, coconut, oil palm, rubber, mango to share from all over the world to connect. Climaxing the summit will be a special gala night and first Tree Crops Award ceremony. For exhibition, sponsorship and registration, contact us on 0303 981 790. Visit our website at tcda.gov.gh or connect with us via our social media platforms at TCDA Ghana. Registration is required. To invest in Ghana, grow tree crops. The future is green. Be part of it. Seacoms beyond cocoa. Our Seacoms, our future. Come one, come all.
Accra, Accra, the school of no regret. From here our hearts were shaped to serve our nation free. Oh God, to thee we dedicate Accra Academy. Ese quam videri we say emblem Accra. Yeah. One time I'm done. To sports, athletics. You know, Accra is known all over in Ghana for that. But then we are also looking at the creative area of students in that regard. And if you go there right now, we have a school band, and then we've got people that are drawing artists and so on. So we want to push our energy into that area more, because there are other students also that are extremely great in that part of the world. So we want to push harder and then support them in various ways. So we're trying to create an environment, or let's say we're trying to build something for them so that they can also have some of the resources that would help them to produce creatively. So this is also an agenda that we're pushing, and I'm sure that this year the plan will come out, and I'm sure that I will let you know as we go on. Every Thursday morning, the spirit of the school come alive. From the marching bands to the dining halls, the fear and the panic stories, the convoys to old students' pride, to unforgettable homecoming moments. Metro TV brings you the school's homecoming show live. Relive the glory, celebrate the legacies, reconnect with the memories that shape legends like you. The celebrations, the anniversaries, the homecoming activities, and the legacy projects that you embark in your school. The Metro TV School's Homecoming Show comes to you every Thursday from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. live on Metro TV. This is the School's Homecoming Show live on Metro TV.
All right, you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. The show is live on 94.1 FM. I'm here with Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr., who is a former managing editor of the Insight newspaper and a veteran journalist as well. Also here with us is the man Daniel Ni Kwate Titus Glover, former Greater Accra Regional Minister, former Deputy Transport Minister, and also a former MP for Tema East. Ni, I was asking you, okay, have you really thought about how uphill this task is going to be, sort of reorganize your party and bring them to, you know, a level where they can compete, you know, favorably in the 2028 elections? In fact, John Boyd, in one of the papers that I reviewed, was talking about the fact that the NPP must quickly, you know, come back or get back on board and work towards 2028. So it tells you that the party recognizes that there's a major problem that ought to be dealt with. Do you think that you're the man to deal with these problems, which is the unity? First of all, the unity problem.
Certainly,
and also
certainly
to bring back
so.
the love
Certainly
the party
so.
has,
Because the reason why the Professor Quay report recommended that we need to do the presidential elections first.
Okay.
Was apt. Why? Because as they move around the country, they look at the mood of the party members and the need for us to move gradually towards the revival of the party. So I think that was right in that way.
Okay.
Now that we move that off the timetable, the focus now is about how to rebuild the party, and of course it starts from the structures, the membership drive that we need to look at in all the polling stations, the electoral areas, the constituency, and all that. So it is very key. And for now, for me, it's about people who can really work, not just because you want to be an officer of the party. People come and take positions, they don't even work at all. And when it comes to campaign, the ordinary party sympathizers in the polling stations, in the electoral areas, they really come up to come and work. So for me, the program of the 1st to the 31st of March, where we need to look for the membership drive, for me is very key. And we need to look at this thing critically, because that is the foundation of this rebuilding that we wanted to do. So clearly, we are on course. Where we are now, it's not the first time we'll be here. We've been opposing a couple of times, and at every time we go back, we look at our mistakes, we make some reflections, we rebuild, work so hard, and by the grace of God, Ghanaians are able to give it this opportunity. So, in fact, this work is going to be on the shoulder of the national organizer. Seriously. And unity is so key. Without unity, we should forget it. But I can see that the unity is coming gradually. It's coming. All the aspirants that gave their word are working towards it. Some may have their own reservations about it, but for me, where I sit and what I see, I am really hopeful that things can turn around. We were able to work closely and all that. So for me, I don't have any problem at all. Let's focus on what exactly we want to do to make sure that we bring the party up and to make it attractive to the people of Ghana.
Tough task?
Very, very tough task. And sometimes when I listen to some of my friends in the New Patriotic Party, I doubt whether they really understand the task before them.
We do.
You see, to win elections in 2028, there are two conditions which needs to be satisfied. One, you need to convince the Ghanaian electorate that you can do better than you did in your last 2 terms. Because by the end of your last 2 terms, the indicators were horrible. And I think that many Ghanaians do not want to return to 2024. And, so that's a major tax. The other tax the party needs to perform is that by 2028, it needs to demonstrate that it can do better than the Mahama administration has done. These are 2 important tasks. One, that you are not going back to what you did in the 8 years that the people of Ghana gave you power, and that you can do better than what the current administration is doing. Now, if you listen to them, all the talk is about unity. Oh, if only we can unite. If you unite, and you can take inflation to 54%, who's going to care about your unity and so on? So they must understand that tax. The major tax is to show that they can deliver a performance which is much better than what we are getting today. And if they're able to do that, why not? They win, but it's an uphill tax. Okay. Then even if you come to this talk about unity, who are united? Because in 2024, there was a split in the party. So when they talk about unity, does that include efforts to heal that split which led to the emergence of the United Party? As I'm listening to people in the United Party, I'm listening to Lawyer Pierre Dankwa, I'm listening to Solomon Owusu, and so on. I'm listening to former General Secretary of the party, Nana Hininto, and so on. I'm listening to Philip London. And they are swearing that they would never go back to the New Patriotic Party. You understand? So when they talk about unity, what does that mean? There was Dr. Amwaku Tufo, who was actually threatening to form a new political party. When they talk about unity, does that include people like Dr. Amwaku Tufo, who are not with Alan, who are disgruntled, and who don't want to be part of the New Patriotic Party? Does that include them? Now, when they talk about unity...
Oh, you mean the political science guy? It's not Amwaku Tufo, it's Amwaku Dr.
Amwaku something.
Whatever
his name is.
Yes. But I get it. Yeah.
Yes. You know.
Because I don't want us to confuse him with the founding father of the NPP.
No problem.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I know him. I know the chap you're talking about.
Amwaku something.
Amwaku.
He used to be a lecturer at the K University.
Yes,
fantastic.
Political science department.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So when they're talking about unity, does that also include people like Professor Frimpong Boateng? Does it include people like Nyaho Tamaklo and so on? Because through unity, should be able to bring all these factions and individuals together. And I get the sense that when they talk about unity, they are talking about the unity of the newly elected presidential candidate and those who contested him. Is that unity enough? I'm not so sure that unity is enough. You understand? So these are some of the challenges they have. They are talking about reorganizing the party and so on. One of the things that they probably have to do is to also begin to rethink the way in which they communicate. And I'm sure that my brother is here and he would understand what I'm talking about. How do they communicate? This tendency to talk down to people, and so on. It didn't work in the past, and I don't think that it's going to work now or in the future. So these are some of the elements that they have to grapple with when they talk about positioning the party to win elections in 2028. I mean, not too long ago, you will remember one of the persons who is talking about resetting the agenda for the party and so on actually made a statement to the effect that his wish is for the current government to fail. And that if the current government does not fail, their chances of coming back to power will be limited. You remember that statement?
You discussed it on the show the other time.
That's a most irresponsible statement. What does it mean for the current government to fail? It means worsening the hardships that face our people and so on, So one would expect that in their public engagement and so on, they'll be talking about positive things. They'll be talking about how to alleviate the sufferings of Ghanaians. They'll be talking about, the crisis in Burkina Faso and what it means for Ghanaian agriculture and industry and so on. That's the way to mobilize people, not to publicly announce that they are praying for failure and more suffering for the Ghanaian and so on. So they have a lot of work to do.
But
I see some people in the New Patriotic Party who are properly focused, who understand the national situation and so on. But I doubt if they are given a hearing or if they are allowed to play crucial roles in the reorganization effort.
But if you have a situation where...
Can I respond
to
what my big brother has just said? I take his concerns seriously, i.e. the performance of the NDC government and the way they are going. Is my big brother saying that he's comfortable with the performance of the government because of this artificial management of the economy, where the cocoa prices is exposing them? That is number one. Number two,
you look at the cost of living now, I'm sure he buys power more than what he was buying some time ago. Okay? When you look at the UCG, the amounts that we are paying in the past 8 years was even more cheaper than what we are paying now. Okay? We need to interrogate these things very well. He promised cocoa farmers. The president was even telling us, those of us who don't even have land, we should start looking for land to go and cultivate cocoa farms, because the prices that are coming is so attractive. Do you know what I was saying? For the whole of last year, mass spraying was not done. He promised. When you look at their manifesto, I think page 41 to I think 42, there are a lot of things that they said about cocoa farmers. Boreholes, that they will construct boreholes in cocoa farms, that they can link to their cocoa trees, so that at least year round there will be water in these cocoa farms, so that they can boost cocoa production. What did we see? Children of cocoa farmers, where they are going to get these cocoa scholarships because of the free SHS that has taken over cocoa scholarships. What did we see? Nothing. So clearly, you see, there's a lot that we can talk about this government. Go to the farm. I've been sending you videos, Moro.
Yes, I've seen them.
I've sent you a couple of videos.
I've seen them.
There are no money for people to buy from the market.
We'll have a whole discussion about this.
No. I need to address.
That's our next topic. Okay?
Well, I'm coming.
Don't take the wind out of
No,
sails.
I'm not, because what Kwesi said, for me, it's so important.
Yeah.
I don't downplay it at all. The disgruntled members like Dr. Maguba, I'll go look for him.
Okay.
Kwesi, I've gone to look for Dr. Nyawotabako to surprise you.
You have?
Yes.
When was that?
Oh, so I think about a few months ago, before the Christmas.
Oh, okay.
For a long time, I've not met him.
Okay.
When I was running for regional secretary in 2009 and 10, he was my regional chairman candidate. They trained me with Nanado, Kwesi, Kukubaku, Nyawotamako, and all that.
You are hopeful he'll be back on board?
I've met him.
Actively.
I spoke to him.
What sense did you get?
I mean, he looks positive.
Okay.
It looks positive. So, you see, I'm happy he's making all these revelations to us. We see them. And also, you see, history has taught us, anybody who breaks from a mother party does not survive. Look at Guzitano in 2000, the Reform Party. He couldn't make any impact. Kofodwa, my big sister, Frances Essien, beat Zidane, and Dr. Obeda Samoa. They broke away. What happened?
That's the DFP. Democratic Freedom
But Professor
Party.
Mills, may he so rest in peace, realized that there's a need for unity in the NDC. He reached out all these people and brought them on board. Today, beat Zidane is the MP for Laura. It's an achievement. It means that when you have a leader who's ready to listen, regardless of everything, to reach these people and bring it aboard, it can be done. It's only Nana Konedus, may he so rest in peace too, that they could not reach her to bring her back into the NDC. But I know they were processed through Zanato to make sure they bring their mother back into the NDC. So if Alan has gone, he's a human being. Dr. Amakuba, I heard him say he's left the party. Maybe he's angry at one or two things. I am ready, when I'm elected national organizer, to go and reach him.
You didn't talk about reaching out to Alan. Why? You just said Alan has gone.
No, what I'm saying is,
you've given up on Alan, Chairman.
I have no problem.
You've given up on him?
I have not.
Okay.
Even though some party members were not comfortable the way after the presidential special voting that led him to leave. That is not the end of the road.
But your position is that you would make the effort
so
to bring them back.
It's important to reach out all these people.
Okay.
And Dr. Bamian is doing that. He has started doing it. He's the type who does most of the things undercover. You come to your home, talk to you nicely, let's come together. That is how you build it. So if other people have done it, what stops us from reaching that goal? So I think
unity is possible.
It is
That's
key.
the point you're making.
So I take that in good faith and we'll work towards it. Between now to 2028 is a long time.
Okay, let me ask you this. At the Thanksgiving service, I noticed two things. So Kenneth Japon was not there. Dr. Brian Champon was not there. Were you at the Thanksgiving service?
I was there. I was dancing all over the place.
Do you have any idea why the two of them were not present?
I can't tell.
because I knew, in fact, I asked.
And closely related to that, why haven't they gone to congratulate personally? I mean, physically congratulate.
I can't tell why
the flag bearer. They still haven't done.
I think Brian has been there.
Brian has been there.
I think it's only Kennedy.
I mean, if Brian has visited, and I'm not aware.
It's only Kennedy, Honorable Kennedy. I knew he's not been there.
Okay.
But I know they've been talking on phone and other things. But maybe physically they wanted to see him in his house and see. I can't tell.
Okay.
Maybe it's time for the
His spokesperson has explained that he was out of town, came back the day after the Thanksgiving, but he doesn't even believe, and I'm talking about Kweku Kwati, he said he doesn't believe that you must necessarily go to the flag bearer's house and go and be seen congratulating him again. You know, in fact, he was even asking the question, where from that culture, where somebody has won an elections and then you must be seen to be going to the person's house, cameras and everything showing that you're congratulating the person to signal that unity is back. For him, unity more has to do with the person's determination and decision that I want to help the flag bearer. That for him is most important.
Honorable Kennedy said this at the party headquarters in the night.
Right.
He was the first to speak among his colleagues, and he gave his word that he want to support him wholeheartedly to make sure that.
So Kweku believes that should be enough.
You know, but some want to look at the optics while people are going to his home.
But do you agree?
Well, it's a choice.
That is not necessary.
It's a choice to him whether to go to his house or what he said at the party headquarters on Saturday night on 31st. That alone is enough. But I know they've been talking on phone. I mean, whatever they've been talking.
This is the first time you're going to seek for a position after a flag bearer of your party has been elected.
What is your
Have
problem?
you looked at the dynamics of it?
What is your problem?
No, I don't have a problem.
We have our party.
No, I'm not saying that.
No. The media, you are not happy about how we have. Cool down.
I'm just saying that this is
cool down. You are not the only person.
Yes.
Who tried to drive through that.
No, don't get me wrong.
Thinking that.
At all.
Cool down. You've asked me a question.
Yes.
Let me respond for you and your viewers. A lot of people are making that thinking that we should have started from the ground all the way up to the presidential.
I don't think you have an opinion on that.
Oh, cool down. Please don't interject me.
Okay.
I told you there was a history, there was a background why we wanted to do the presidential elections first. It came out of the Professor Michael Okoye report when they moved around the country to find out why we lost the elections and the reason why they felt that there's a need to do the presidential election first, and that was the basis. Every election there is strategy. The methodology and everything will change. So that is what we believe was good for us. And you look at all over the noise, the talking, not even the aspirants, even their supporters. So now that we have moved from there, now it's about how to rebuild the party itself, the structures itself, and that is the focus that we are on now. So please, just keep cool and pray for us, and I can assure you that we'll get to the bottom of it.
So, I mean, I just get the right that people. It makes a difference. Okay, doesn't make a difference.
No, because hitherto we start from the ground all the way to the presidential. But sitting back, observing the trend, the way things are going, the recommendation by Professor Okoye reports it out. Let's take this one off first, and by that time the tension will subside. Then we can look at how we can.
I didn't answer my question.
I've answered your question.
My question is,
you said normally we do.
Difference for your campaign, Alo? Will it make a difference?
Not at all. Not at all.
That's fine. That's all I wanted to know.
Titus Global is a brand. It's a brand in our party and in this country. So I protect my name jealously. Trust me.
I would have.
We were talking about slave trade when I came.
I'll let you have a bite on that. That's one question.
Well, first of all, I get very worried when those in political parties running for office declare that this is our party, suggesting that they can decide everything by themselves and do everything they want because it's their party. It's not true.
Right.
One, political parties are public institutions. seeking the mandate of the people to manage public resources. And therefore, every Ghanaian has an interest in how political parties function and manage themselves. Because ultimately, these political parties are going to seek a mandate to control our lives for 4 years. So every Ghanaian, whether they are members of the parties or not, have an interest in what happens in the political parties, all the political parties. And I think that's an important point to make. The second point to make is that in the reorganization of the New Patriotic Party, I think that they should confront reality rather than bury their heads in assumptions and so on. So my brother posed the question whether I believe that this government is doing well. What I believe is neither here nor there, is immaterial. Where is the scientific evidence on the performance of the current administration? And go to all the opinion polls. All the opinion polls suggest that the vast majority of the people of Ghana think that this government is doing well. That is where you have to start from, not individual opinions, not what I think or don't think. Take Global Info Analytics. See the statistics, see the data, and then deal with that. Because the data is that the vast majority of the people of Ghana are happy with the performance of this administration.
There's an IEA one.
There's an IEA one, all of them.
That came out just last week.
So what I think is not important, deal with the reality. And the reality is the aggregate of views of Ghanaians, which is reflected in the opinion polls. So that's what you deal with.
Can I come in?
No, please, I haven't finished.
Oh, go ahead.
But if you want to come in, I can keep
sorry.
quiet.
I thought you had done.
It's not a problem. And then, my brother, you make reference to the artificial management of the economy, and I'm confused. What is the artificial management of the economy? What does it mean? I've never come across that expression, artificial management of the economy. What is it? So I'm lost as to what is being spoken about now. Now, you see, in assessing the performance of a government, you don't just take one sector and then based on your evaluation of that sector, come to a conclusion about the performance of the government. So even if everybody agrees with you, even if everybody agrees with you that the cocoa sector is badly managed, it doesn't mean that the government is doing badly. Because there are other sectors which could improve. Now, there's reference to utility, the cost of utility to citizens. How is that a problem for this administration? I doubt. The last PURC review in 2024 left us in no doubt that utility cost was going to go up in the years ahead. It's not new, we have been expecting it. Nothing has happened which is extraordinary with regards to utility costs. They've been going up over the last 10 years and more, every year. There's no year where utility prices have come down. So to use increases in the cost of utility to citizens as a basis for calling for regime change and so on is a bit unwieldy. It doesn't add up. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't add up. That's a problem. Now, with the cost of living, again, the data is the Ghana Statistical Service has a lot of data. The Bank of Ghana has a lot of data and so on. I'm not so sure that today anybody can argue that the cost of living is rising. What you can do is to pick the prices or cost of certain services and goods and say that they have gone up. So, because the official position is that inflation has dropped to 3.8. Is my figure correct?
Fact.
I think so.
That's a fact.
It has dropped to 3.8.
Yes.
Now that is an admission that prices are generally, on the average, not dropping. Because the rate of inflation, in economic terms, is the rate at which prices rise. So if inflation is at 3.8, it means that on average, generally, prices are rising by 3.8%. While some time ago, they rose by 54%. Indeed, by the close of 2024, December, inflation was around 27-point-something%.
It was around 22.
Okay.
22%.
Okay, let's say 22%. Okay?
Yes.
So what this means is that the rate at which prices rise has been lowered. Is that good or bad? It's up for us, all of us, to judge. And I don't think that anybody is going to argue that this is bad. You understand? Now, my brother here also has dwelt a lot on the cocoa sector. I'm taking note of the fact that you say that it's a substantive topic which we are going to discuss.
Right.
So I'll reserve my comments for now.
Yeah, that's our next
when
topic.
it comes up, we can look at it. But these are some of the things that we need.
Moro, thank you very much. In as much as
Global Info
Analytics and IE have come out with their study to talk about stabilized economy, I want to appeal to the two institutions to go to the cocoa farmers. That is a reality. The cocoa farmers is also a constituency within the country. I'm sure they are listening to them. They are watching them on various platforms.
Okay.
And the kind of anger and pain and the level of deceit that this government has done to the cocoa farmer. When you promise the 6,000 Ghana cedis, because Akufo-Addo were not doing well.
When you want to introduce the topic there.
That's
our next
so it is very key that we need to. I will share the cocoa one.
Yes.
But Kwesi, with the greatest of respect, in as much as inflation has dwindled to 3.8%, this is not reflective on the ground. This is not. And Akufo-Addo government, utilities were not increased as the way they did. It's a fact. It's a fact we need to let the people know. Government services have all shut up. Go to Abosokai. They will tell you the duties they are paying. And how is it reflecting on the prices on their wares. I am not telling them. It's all over the space that people are talking. I sometimes when I see the video, I share some with you and other media friends. The agri minister went up north. They went to inaugurate some program about these crops. One of the chiefs from the north, Tamale area, complained that they produce the sorghums, the millets, the rice. People are not buying them. You said we shouldn't talk about this. Is this not a problem?
My friend, please don't do that to me. I've not said on this platform that you shouldn't talk about anything.
Sorry.
No, let me finish. I've told you that personal views are not important.
Let me take it back. Let me take it back.
Please don't do that to
I beg
me.
you.
It's not fair.
Let me take it back.
Yes.
So I'm saying that this economy is an aphrodisiac economy because to reduce inflation to 3.8%, cedi dollar has been stabilized. Petrol prices has been what? Dwindled. When it is reduced at the world market, that one the president is doing well. But when it's increased in the world market, it's not from him. So all I'm saying is that what they are telling us is not what is reflecting on the ground.
Okay.
So it's an opportunity for MPP to explain to the people of this country that this is deception.
Okay.
That is what I'm talking about.
All right.
So clearly, when you go to the cocoa area, we'll talk about it. I think I have the floor to talk about the slave trade.
Yes. Yes, for just a few minutes. He wants to talk about the reparation issue.
The reparation,
and then we'll move to.
Tell him to come early next time.
Thank you. Advice we'll take it.
Get on with the cocoa.
I think that Moro,
Yes.
We need to commend the president for this work that he has started in terms of reparation of slave trade. But going through history, we are taught that the slave trade started around the 15th century thereabouts. And there were so many royal charters, trade licenses, colonial laws that were passed from the Portuguese to the Spanish, the British, and other people, just to make sure that the commercialization of this slave trade was really, really, really active.
Right.
And what is the essence of the slave trade? It's all about providing cheap labor in their plantations, the infrastructure in these countries. And I was sharing with you offline that studying in Warwick University when I was doing my master's, tomorrow, during term time, we go and do 20 hours a week. But on vacation, you can do as many hours you want. And you go and look for a job, they'll tell you that they wanted British nationals or EU nationals. But the question I asked in class, one of my lecturers, is that my forebears were used as slaves to develop this country. These undergrad you see in London, all over the places, were all slave labor that were used. So clearly you can see the level of sacrifices that Africans have contributed in the development of these economies. Some were even thrown into the sea because they couldn't reach their destinations. So if President Mahama has started this fight, sometimes you want to be emotional because you look at the contribution and the kind of things that we have done. It is something that we need to continue to engage. And I'm happy he's not doing this alone. But he talked about 5 key points about these reparations that he talked about. The call for recognition of the slave trade as a crime.
Right.
Indeed, for you to forcefully capture somebody out of his will and sell him into labor, it's a crime that we need to talk about. When you go to Sankana, where I'm the chief there, because there's a slave area. You see these stones, Kenedimona's place. You see these caves that when these slave merchants are coming, they come and pick the people. So they fight back. And they go and hide in these caves. Sometimes they are injured with the guns, with the arrows, they treat them and go back and fight to defend their people. So if the president is talking about how to see this slave trade as a crime, I'm in it. I'm support fully. He also talked about advocate for justice. And indeed, we need to have that thing done, addressed. Because for over 300 years of this slave trade, we have never had justice. And it's very key that he's talking about these things. And the need for us also to establish a broad and tangible, debt cancellation, monetary compensation. And because he talked about African artifacts, all these things were lost. And as much as they are taking our people forcefully away, they also stole some of our artifacts. They took them away. So clearly, this is an agenda that is not his agenda alone. And that is why he has started the discussion that his colleagues, presidents in the African Union can buy into this project. So that together we'll be able to raise the awareness and get the right ear. And what is the ear? The United Nations platform, the EU platform, where you meet those top leaders. We need to let them know that they have not treated us well. He also talked about debt cancellation. Over 12 million Africans were taken as slaves. So clearly, it is a call, a good call that we all need to support him to make sure we drive hard on this reparation matter that we're talking about. So I'm in for it.
All right. So let's get on with our next topic, and it's about cocoa.
Well, just a question. Just a very simple, harmless question. My brother Tatos Global is casting doubt on the claim that the current inflation rate is 3.8. So what is the true inflation rate? If it's not 3.8,
what I'm saying is that it's not reflective. Yes, it has reduced to 3.8, but when you go to the ground, it's not reflective.
It's not.
Where were you?
If inflation is reduced to 3.8, why would charge more on utilities? Why are the universities paying increasing their fees? Why are government services increasing? Why are the traders crying? Why are people not coming up to buy? So, because that is my little understanding.
Okay.
If indeed inflation has come down, it should reflect in the pockets.
You see, Titus, let me explain something to you. How inflation is calculated. They always use the example of the basket. They put so many things in the basket. You know that.
I know it.
So why are you talking like
but
this?
But please, the prices.
So why are you talking like
I'm talking like that because when I go to the market, even though it doesn't put in the basket to reach 3.8%, that is what is reflecting on the ground. There's a problem. Let us admit it.
So can I explain
Go ahead.
Because it seems to me that you still don't understand. So utility tariffs may be just one of the items which is used to strike the averages, which leads to 3.8%.
Right.
So you cannot just point to utility tariffs and say that because utility tariffs have risen, 3.8 is meaningless or it's not realistic.
Right.
I mean, that's not economics at all.
Right.
You know, that's not economics at all.
All right, let's do this. Cocoa politics. It appears that your very good friend, Randy Abbey, his head is on the block, the chopping block.
He's a very good friend.
And yes, he's a very good friend as well. I mean,
But when I call, he doesn't pick.
He doesn't
pick my calls.
He doesn't pick your calls.
So he's no longer your good friend.
He's still my brother, not a friend. He's my brother.
He's your brother.
But he doesn't pick my call, even before this problem came.
Okay.
So reach him for me. Maybe when you call him, you pick.
All right.
He's watching us now.
I'm sure. I'm sure he was. All right. So you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Let's.
Person who picks his
calls. Yes, I'm surprised. Anyway,
but
if he doesn't take your call, he'll call
back. Okay.
He hasn't called me back.
So please stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana. Don't go anywhere.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, a who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to Amame Manfo, Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is several buying, a man is swing, Nesanso Mama Hoto so a will beg you.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel. Happy Smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Chichi woni nara mi din e de baby da pa me di ade sonko kra na ebremo nya ode to aduane mo ama waduane e de pa na me de bremo eno any some spices e emu wa wo bebre o various flavors ubenya e yakoko ubenya nyantwie ye de gu jollof mu ma emu ye de ubenya ye de gu nkwan ye de gu froye mu ho na kope bito na ema waduane enye de unyimi nia ye nkon ye konko tie nyankofo eka
autant de communication ni enjoy Oduba that Samu spices. One in the essence don't fight. I'm going to get it. Samu spices in a BTA. Daddy so say. Samu spices. Mun Samu.
Samu spices. Nyama chicken.
Samu spices. Sanaka in Kitwa, measure 10 grams. Your chicken, spaghetti, garlic and ginger, stew, can jollof, any flavors. Alfredo bebre.
Samu spices. Yes, Saka.
Healthy soil is where every great harvest begins. At ACAP, we turn waste into wealth, producing rich organic compost made right here in Ghana for our farmers and our future. Whether you are planting small or big, ACAP compost improves your soil, boosts your yields, and saves you money. Even in your own home garden, give your soil life naturally. ACAP compost, from waste to wealth.
And now, O Lord, our leaders great, to whom you give wisdom and power to build this glorious institute. So grant us, Lord divine, both strength and love, to cherish and uphold GSTS. Both strength and love, to cherish and uphold GSTS. I mentioned from the beginning that the school was created more as a technical school. Yeah. Okay, so our primary focus is on the technical and the sciences, but technical basic. Right. So what we're doing now, and which is going into the future, for example, we've provided Wi-Fi for the whole school. Oh, nice. That is a foundation for technology. Right. Okay, and then we have the AI workshop. When you mentioned AI, I said, we already had one. We had science lab. We had computer labs also. We have created another studio where the students now would exhibit their AI prowesses. Mm-hmm. Okay, those who probably may be into affiliate marketing and all that, because you know, these are children who GES have deprived them of having digital assets on them in school. But when they get out, they are going to a world that is digital. How do they transition in these things? So we have to prepare them for that world they are going to meet. So whilst they don't have their phone, they don't have their tablets, they don't have everything in school by themselves, we're providing those things for them. And then when they come out, they are already launched. Okay, so that is the one part that is being done. The dining hall, for example, the kitchen is now high-tech. It is smokeless kitchen. Okay, we are not using charcoal or gas or that sort of thing. No. If you go in there, everything is done in the school, and it is a technology kitchen. And you should see that.
They are living up to their mandates. Wow.
Technical mandate.
So that is a small chunk of that. Wow. Okay. And I just have to also mention that we have what we call a clinic in the school. Okay. It is not just an infirmary or a CB or something, and everybody knows that.
We also have a clinic.
Oh.
Yeah, we do.
And dedicatedness is there.
You have
You have to be very careful.
That is resource. Okay.
You have to be very careful.
And GSTS has weaned itself of Ghana Water. You know that already. Yeah, we don't. No. We have our bowls and everything that the school provides. So we don't. From when I went to school, we had a huge well that when Secondary Takwadi dries up, everybody comes there to come and fetch. Okay, but now we have been able to tap it from the earth, and it's available for everybody. Wow. So we use technology.
Fantastic. Yeah. Wow, this is lovely.
And you know, we have a robotics lab also.
Hey.
Yes. You know, Oleni Trebi, Anasa.
Yes.
Well, he was my classmate. That's another thing I used to go to.
But we're going to give them the opportunity. Because the point is, if we don't take care.
And so we are into robotics as well.
Oba Western Norfa, Edru Opebrea, Obekasa Wosrim, and so and yes, Anna net here. And Amako and Giano, and Timin through ye.
We have realized that 8 years after the MPP came into government, they have destroyed all our forests. During the Harmattan season in the Western North region, the impact is severe. Our new arrangement is that if you have a cocoa farm, we will drill a borehole on your farm and provide a storage facility so you can conserve water during the rainy season.
When for no 15, you better have a 2 borehole near the polytank and see her. And it's your known to na with the host, na with the share cocoa, no so send a bear a best ye ama yetini yeska.
Cote d'Ivoire, 1 bag of cocoa or 9,400 Ghana cedis equivalent. Togo 8,900, Ghana 3,100. 2,587 Ghana cedis per bag.
I planted cocoa on the 50 acres, so I'm a cocoa farmer. And so when the price was reduced by government, it affects me too.
I want to be able to empathize with farmers so that when we take any policy decision, we know that it has an effect on farmers and we feel it ourselves. If there's no fertilizer, if the price of fertilizer is expensive, I feel it myself because I also buy fertilizer. I recently acquired another 100 acres of land, and this time I've dedicated it to oil palm.
You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. I'm still here with Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr., former managing editor of the Inside newspaper, and also Daniel Nekwate Titus Glover, former MP for the Tema East constituency, and also former Greater Accra Regional Minister. So, as I said, cocoa politics, cocoa producer price of the crop was announced by the finance minister after some cabinet meeting. And there have been some reactions. The minority have said that the price which has been offered to the farmers is a rip-off, and that the government must go and look for money, top it up and give it to the farmers. Cocoa Board has also said, look, we find ourselves in a dire strait. We inherited a mess. We're trying to fix it. And as Randy Abbey has said consistently, he has a rollover of more than 330,000 cocoa beans that he needs to deliver, and that is at the heart of all of this, plus of course some other factors. But if you look at the papers today, for instance, Daily Guide is reporting that there's a Cocoa Board cut salaries by 20%. Management calls for calm. That's one angle. And then there's also Cocoa Board to save 5 million cedis monthly from these salary cuts. That's according to Mike Dokosi's Daily Post. Now, if you look at the custodian, it says restore the 3,625 per bag to cocoa farmers, which was what was paid them under the previous administration. It says minority tells government. And then if you look at the new crusading guide, Mahama Yariga, so finally Parliament has taken it up. You know, when this whole matter started, Parliament was quiet about it. And I do not know why, but the majority was not as vociferous about the issue as I thought it would, because this is about the government, Cocoa Board, etc. But finally, Parliament took it up, and I've heard some members of the majority, you know, defending the decision by Cocoa Board, and for that matter, by extension, the government to announce that producer price. So here, Mama Yariga has been defending it. As for him, he says that the MPP's decision to use Cocoa Board for politics has fallen inside water. That's what he said in Parliament yesterday. So I'll start with the Daily Guide. I'll read a paragraph each so that you can put all of that in perspective for us. So the Daily Guide one, which talks about the cuts in salaries, is on page 3. We're told the Ghana Cocoa Board, and it's reported by Ebenezer Ponsa, is that the Ghana Cocoa Board has announced a 20% reduction in salaries for the executive management and 10% for the senior staff for the remainder of the 2025-2026 crop year, following liquidity challenges facing the sector. A statement issued on Monday, February 16, 2026, by the Chief Executive Officer of Cocoa Board, Dr. Randy Abbey, said the decision forms part of other cost-cutting measures in procurement and a staff rationalization exercise aimed at reducing the overall expenditure of Cocoa Board and aligning costs with revenue. The executive management has taken a 20% cut, while the senior staff have taken a 10% reduction in their respective salaries. Part of the statement read, according to Cocoa Board, the industry has experienced a significant decline in revenue due to fluctuations in global cocoa prices, foreign exchange instability, and reduced profit margins within the cocoa value chain. It indicates that external market pressures have adversely affected the company's financial performance and cash flow position, thereby compelling management to initiate restructuring measures. Now, the senior staff have responded to this policy decision, where we're told that in a statement they issued and signed yesterday, February 17, 2026, by the General Secretary, Issa Abdulrazak. They are saying that though the decision has reduced the salaries of management as well as senior staff, and that is painful, it is necessary to sustain the cocoa sector. So the senior staff have agreed, they have agreed to the pay cut. Now, you look at the Mike Dokosi's Daily Post, where it talks about 5 million cedis which will be saved. Because I asked the question yesterday that it's not enough to say you're going to reduce your salaries, but to what end? Which is how much are we going to, generate by that decision? And so the answer has been given to us by the Daily Post. So The story here, that's the let me quickly get that and then bring you in, because I know we don't have all day. Good. So it's on page 6 under business, finance and economy. Finance and Economy says that the Ghana Cocoa Board could save an estimated 5 million cedis every month following salary reduction for its executive management and senior staff, according to the board head of public affairs, Jerome Kweku Sam. The cuts, 20% for executive management, 10% for senior staff, took effect immediately and will remain in place for the rest of the 2025-2026 crop year. The decision was announced in a press release dated Monday, February 16, 2026, as part of measures to address liquidity challenges within the cocoa sector. He said the move demonstrates leadership resolve to manage the sector prudently, and the chief executive, Randy Abbey. So that's Daily Post. Restore 3,625 per bag to cocoa farmers, minority tells government. And that story is on page 10 of today's Custodian. Let me look at that as well. And it's by one Osman Al-Hassan, who says that the minority, that's the New Patriotic Party, has condemned the government decision to reduce the cocoa producer price from 3,625 to 2,587 per 64 kilograms bag, calling for its immediate reversal. Now, presenting a statement on the crucial issue, the minority leader Osahene Alexander Afenyo-Markin described the move as illegal, unjust and harmful to Ghanaian cocoa farmers, insisting that the original price announced for the 2025-2026 season remains binding. Once the producer price is announced, it is minimum and guaranteed for the entire crop year. Government cannot vary it to the disadvantage of farmers. According to him, the 3,625 per bag represented the minimum guaranteed price for the entire cocoa season, which runs from October 1 to September 30. He argues that government has no legal authority to revise the price midway. Osahene Afenyo-Markin explained that cocoa pricing is determined by the Producer Price Review Committee based on achieved weighted average prices of cocoa already sold and contracted, including main crop, light crop, and rollover stock. And he said achieved FOB price is based on real market transactions. It is not speculation, according to him. And then finally, Ayariga, who's a majority leader, has been talking, and that's on page 10 of today's Crusading Guide paper. And I'll just do a paragraph of that, and then I can bring Mr. Titus Glover in to tell me why they want Randy Abbey to be sacked as the Chief Executive Officer of Cocoa Board. Now, that story is... that's surprising. Okay, good. Okay. So Majority Leader Mahama Ayariga has defended the government's decision to adjust the cocoa price, producer price, insisting that the move is neither unlawful nor unprecedented. The price was reduced from 51,660 per ton, which is 3,228.75 per bag, to 41,392 per ton, equivalent to 2,587 per bag. Following volatility on international markets, the producer price is currently pegged at 5,040 per ton. Now, the minority has since called on the government to restore the previous rate, arguing that the reduction should be reversed as part of broader reforms in the cocoa sector. However, addressing Parliament on Tuesday, February 17, Ayariga dismissed suggestions and suggests that reviewing the price downward breaches any law. Cocoa prices can be reviewed upwards and can also be reviewed downwards, and that when you review it downwards, it is not illegal. In the same way, when you review it upwards, it is also not illegal. So the charge that reviewing it's illegal is unfounded both in law and in practice. Also rejected claims that the current difficulties in the cocoa sector stem from a failure to sell all beans forward. Mr. Speaker, the charge that if the cocoa beans had been sold forward, we wouldn't have faced this crisis is also unfounded, because indeed a significant portion of the cocoa was sold forward. Me? You still insist Randy must go?
How can I say that?
No, minority says Randy must go.
How can I say that Randy must go? I haven't said anything like that.
You disagree with the minority?
I don't disagree with minority. I'm interested in how we can do to the welfare of cocoa farmers improved.
Okay.
In your readings, I heard you saying that Ayariga said we are doing politics with cocoa and aton somo. But so soon, time flies so fast. When they were in the chamber making all those political promises that they couldn't fulfill when they assumed office, that was not politics. Okay? Eriko Poku, Atufo Singh, and all those good friends of mine who were making hard talk hitting at Akufo-Addo and Bawumia's government. They've forgotten themselves also. Let's go to the NDC manifesto, what they said they want to do for cocoa farmers. Then we can be able to really address the issue very well. And from page, I think 41 going of their manifesto, they said they want to support the welfare of cocoa farmers with free primary health care. That was one. Pension scheme for cocoa farmers. They talk about it. How to revive cocoa farms that it was going bad. That was something that we started in our time in the 8 years. That there were a lot of cocoa farms that have gone bad. They have to cut them all down and replanted them with new seedlings to make sure they even give them plantain, to just add up to the revival of the farms and all that. And they sold those plantains and to make some good money out of it. And the cost of reviving these farms were borne by government at the time. They also said that they want to promote the youth in cocoa farming. Then comes about the pricing, that they will make sure that there will be regular, payments of these prices of what they give to the cocoa farmers. They also talked about scholarship for the children of cocoa farmers, to the extent that they even talked about constructing boreholes in cocoa farms and link them to these plants so that throughout the year there will be water, that could be regular at these cocoa farms and all that. Did they do this? Cocoa spray, the whole of this year, it was not done. It wasn't done. So clearly there's a problem. And when you look at the discussion from both sides, from our side, the MP for Furukrom has been saying that, look, most of the sales and the revenues are from the forward sales, because you have to watch the trajectory at which this trading activity is going on in Cocoa Board and all that. Ask my brother for me, is it true? Because I heard from the Furukrom MP that those professionals who are very active in this trading with all the experience, when the NDC came, they sacked all of them from there and brought new people. And this is a problem that has created some of these problems there. I'm not there. He's saying it. And Ranid is there. They took everybody out and brought so-called people who can align with the color green to make sure this is what has happened. So clearly, it's a challenge that we need to deal with it going forward. If we want to depoliticize the issue of our cocoa, people who have the experience in this trading activity, let us bring them there and make sure they are able to do whatever we do to help Cocoa Board and the farmers. Was it also true that there was a debt of about 19 billion cedis when we inherited? That's what we inherited from, I heard the MP for Furukrom talking about it, that it was a problem. They also talked about a syndicated loan of $1.8 billion that was meant for the purchase of 850 metric tons of cocoa. They bought almost 500.
850,000.
850,000 metric tons of cocoa for that 1.8 billion syndicated loan.
2024, 25.
So they end up buying a little close to 500,000 metric tons. So, and the money was gone. The money was gone. So when we came, we never raised any eyebrow, because we know that there's a hole to fill.
Before 2017, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when we assumed office with Boanyedu and the team, assumed office in 2017, this was the challenge they inherited. The $19 billion, the $1.8 billion, 19 billion cedis, $1.8 billion syndicated loan for the 850 metric tons. They only bought close to 1,000 metric tons. So the 350, where are they going to get the money from? Quickly, they have to make some internal arrangement from Bank of Ghana, raise the money, buy the cocoa. Quietly, nobody had anything. So, now, we give them 3,100 a bag. Is that the case?
Yes.
And with the noise that the
that's what you forward. So no, sorry.
That was
3,001 was what you were paying before.
Yes. You only came with all the grammar, the hard talk and things. You only came back and you only added token to it. So the farmers were asking you, we voted for you because you gave us the promise that you can do better than what the MPP, Nana Do, and Dr. Bawumia were doing. Only to come and add a token. Fine. In our 8 years' time, there were times that the world cocoa price, and when I heard for the MP again, is that when we assume office, the price at the world market has dwindled from 3,500 to about 1,800. That can reflect in the price that we give to the farmers. But we didn't touch it. We maintained the price at that level. Then gradually we built on it. So why is the government not absorbing, maintaining the same old, the 3,100 they are paying them, but rather to reduce it? It is not fair to the cocoa farmer. Unless Doniba, the largest producer, they go to the same cocoa world market to sell their cocoa. I'm told they've maintained the price as 3,600. They didn't reduce it. So clearly, when you look at the conversation, you could see that the NDC government have not treated the farmers well. In one of the campaign platforms, I heard the president, then Kandidi Mahama, saying all the goodies that they want to pass on to cocoa farmer. And before even they added that 500 cedis to the 3,100 to make it 3,600, the president jokingly was saying that if you don't have land, go and look for one, because the prices that will be announcing for the cocoa farming will be so attractive that you have to go into cocoa production only for us to get what we had. So today, when you look at the videos that are coming up, you look at the conversation that is going around, you could see that the NDC government have given the cocoa farmer a bad deal. They have not treated them well. And on top of it, since October, November, all the beans that they sold, they've not paid to them. It is a matter that we need to talk about it. Because the expectation of this revenue for the cocoa farmers is what they use to run their families. I saw on one of the videos, Western North, the best cocoa farmer, I'm told, because he was not being paid, they have to resort to coconut leaves as a means of generating some money to take care of young kids who are going to school. It is a matter that is so emotional. It's a matter that is so serious that we don't need to downplay about it. I'm not against my brother Randy Abbey, not at all. I'm not. But the issue that has come, it is important we raise the matter, we discuss it dispassionately, and to make sure that the cocoa farmers are not giving raw deal. Because what is going on is not bad. I've given you another video where the destruction, one is cutting the trees down, another, I've seen an excavator destroying the cocoa farm, ostensibly to be given to a galamsey. We all know galamsey is an illegal activity that the government is fighting hard to get it off our back. So if the cocoa farmers are giving this bad deal, it's a motivation that illegally they want to switch to go into galamsey production at the expense of cocoa. We know the contribution of cocoa production, and for that matter, the farmers. So if we were able to give them a guaranteed price at a time when the price was so low at the world market, we never reduce it. So the appeal that they are making to the government, including the minority, Mr. President and your government, maintain the 3,100 and not to reduce it. So clearly, this is a picture of the conversation that has been all over the place, because clearly the NDC has given the cocoa farmers a bad deal, which we need to admit, and to move away from this deception, this rhetorics that they've been talking, that they are doing something good for cocoa farmers and all that. So please, it's a matter that we need to look at it. So we are not making politics out of it. I've seen some NDC people saying that why is Miracle Zawaji going to the cocoa farms to it's important at the people's forum. It's important we let them do it for them to know the feeling that the cocoa farmers are going through. So he's not making politics. It's the reality on the ground. What is happening?
But have you also seen some cocoa farmers who are excited about what has been offered them? We play those tapes too here on the show.
What is that? I've seen a cocoa farmer in the NDC. No serious human being, cocoa farmer, who has had his price reduced, will be happy. Those cocoa farmers who said he's happy,
even if the
that his price is reduced,
even if the explanation
I leave that for his judgment.
Makes sense to them?
It doesn't make sense to me.
It makes sense to them. That's what they're saying here.
Because I've seen a picture of that gentleman in an NDC colors t-shirt, cocoa farmer. Of course, for political reasons, he will be happy with what has done. Majority of the cocoa farmers are not happy with what is going on. So if he's happy because of his party colors, bingo.
Interestingly, he has also been accused of saying miracles, that he has he's mobilized some MPP people and
mobilized.
I mean, the two political parties are
mobilize what?
That he's going to mobilize MPP farmers, cocoa farmers, for them to say some bad things about the government. Anyway, let's bring in Mr. Kwesi Pratt. The two of you are actually.
So clearly, have their prices been reduced or not? The bottom line is that you have reduced their prices, and they are not happy about it.
I agree with you. All right,
well, first of all, I think it's important to set the record straight. No cocoa farmer has come forward to say that they are happy with the decrease in cocoa price. What I've heard cocoa farmers say is that they understand why the price has been reduced. And that we should not just be looking at the price, we should also be looking at the supply of inputs and other incentives to cocoa farmers. That's what I've heard. Indeed, the cocoa farmer that was referred to spoke about the fact that for a long time they couldn't get fertilizers and so on. And that now, even with the decrease, they are getting fertilizer and other inputs. Spoke about the fact that roads to their farms were inaccessible. There's one farmer who actually said that, look, their farms were being destroyed by galamseyers and so on. Now, in his district, he sees a marked improvement in the fight against galamsey and so on. So this is what the cocoa farmers are saying. Some cocoa farmers are saying. You know, don't let us assume that cocoa farmers are idiots. They are not. Indeed, it is their sweat and toil which makes us survive, you know, as urbanites, whatever, you understand? So I think we should quote them properly. Now, Moro, this is not the first time in our history that we come face to face with cocoa politics. It happened before in Dan Nkrumah. With very devastating consequences for the country. Maybe you don't remember. But you see, during the Nkrumah era, I think it was in the early 60s, the cocoa industry was hit by the swollen shoot disease. And the remedy was for government to cut down the cocoa trees so that the infection is limited. The opponents to Nkrumah, the Dankwa Buziaists, jumped on this, and this is a historical record, I'm not making it up, and instigated cocoa farmers against the Nkrumah government. And they did it in some way, without regards to scientific analysis and so on. Blamed Nkrumah for the swollen shoot disease and so on. Eventually, this was one of the reasons that was given by those who truncated the Nkrumah government, leading to the kind of disaster that we continue to suffer today. So this is not the first time that we're having cocoa politics. We've had it in our history before. The historical reference is important. Now, today, I am so surprised that anybody who knows about the cocoa industry can claim that the crisis in the cocoa industry is caused by Randy Abbey. And that all this is happening because over the last few months, Randy Abbey became the chief executive of the Cocoa Marketing Board. Where is this coming from? I mean, so strange, unbelievable. To the extent that they are holding press conferences calling for the removal of Randy Abbey. And how is this tenable? And I'm happy that Titus has distanced himself from that call. Because that call doesn't make any sense. Moro, before the NDC came to power in 2025, over a period of about 4 to 5 years, on this very platform, we have been discussing the cocoa industry. One of the issues that we discussed consistently was the fact that many of the indigenous LBCs were collapsing, and that cocoa buying had become the preserve of foreign LBCs. It's a matter that we discussed here long before the NPP left power. That's one of the problems, you understand, and I can go into a lot more detail. One of the issues that we discussed here was that cocoa production had reduced, had fallen by about 50%.
Yeah.
For two main reasons. One, diseased trees. Cocoa trees were becoming diseased. They needed to be cut down in order to be replaced with new plants and so on. We discussed that here. That was one of the problems confronting the industry. The second problem confronting the industry was simply that galamsey had led to the destruction of many cocoa farms, and production had been reduced by 50%. Okay? Now, we have been doing forward sales of cocoa. And the reality is that because production was dwindling, we were not able to meet all the commitments that we had made. So there were a number of years in which we couldn't supply the cocoa that we had contracted ourselves to supply. So as the price started going up, we were earning less than the world market price because of forward sales. The cocoa industry was losing revenue. Cocoa Marketing Board was losing revenue. The Ghana government was losing revenue as a result of this forward sales as well.
Because you've locked yourself in.
You've locked yourself in.
You can't do anything.
Now, beyond that, beyond that, situations became so dire that by the time the Akufo-Addo government was leaving office, lending from external sources for the purchase of cocoa has stopped. If I'm lying, tell me that I'm lying.
The syndicated loan model has stopped.
It has stopped.
Yeah.
So we're now scrambling to find resources in order to pay for the cocoa that we were purchasing.
By the LBCs.
Yes.
They had to go and find the money to go and buy the cocoa from the farmers.
Exactly. Yeah. So there was a huge problem with financing cocoa purchases by the time the NPP was leaving government.
True.
Okay? Now, also, the value addition in the industry had suffered tremendously by the time the NPP was leaving government. That suffered so badly, you know. Coupled with this is overstaffing. Have you seen the staff list?
Yeah.
Have you? Overstaffing has become a huge problem in the Cocoa Marketing Board. You know, everybody was being placed there and so on. The Mahama administration came to power and wanted to do something about it, and a lot of pressure was put on them, and they quickly retreated and said anybody at post, stay at post, and so on. Even though the government was finding it tremendously difficult to find the resources to pay the workers. In fact, one official of the Cocoa Board publicly stated that if you look at their budget, they were spending more than 2/3 of their total budget on staff emoluments. So the crisis was there. It is not a Randy Abbey created crisis. This crisis existed before Randy Abbey became chief executive of Cocoa Marketing Board. If I lie, tell me. The two of you, if I lie, just tell me. You understand? This is the situation. Now, the price, the producer price of cocoa has been reduced. And that's a fact. It has been reduced. Why? If you reduce the earnings of anybody, any people working in the sector and so on, it is painful.
Yeah.
You understand? It is very, very painful. Yeah. Okay? So nobody can say that, look, the cocoa farmers should accept it. It's okay and so on. Even though there are other factors that we have to look at. And what are the factors that we have to look at? All of us are saying that we are happy that the exchange rate has come down drastically. It went all the way up to 17 cedis to $1. Now it's come down to a 10 point something to $1 and so on. What does that mean? What that means is that when you export your cocoa, the cedis you get for your export is reduced. Am I lying? Yeah. If I'm lying, tell me that I'm lying.
That's it.
If the exchange rate improves, if the cedi becomes stronger, it simply means that when you export your cocoa and you get paid on the international market, the equivalent in cedis is also reduced.
True.
As a result of improvement in the cedi rate.
Absolutely.
We need to factor that in.
Yeah.
You understand? And then this discussion would ultimately end up in the purchasing power to the farmer, the purchasing power of what is sold, what the farmer sells, and so on. But that's one point.
The economists call it the real income.
Thank you. Thank you,
yes,
my
the
brother.
Real
thank
income.
you. Master, in addition to this, and I'm listening to the farmers, and of course the farmers are divided. It does appear that there are some farmers who strongly support the NPP position, and there are some farmers who say that they understand the situation and so on. Why? You know the crisis of fertilizer for cocoa farmers. You know that.
Right.
Master, the crisis of fertilizer for cocoa farmers. Yes. Should I repeat it?
No, you don't have to. I think it's public knowledge.
At a certain point, we knew that the farmers were not getting fertilizers. They were not getting the inputs and so on. And they made so much noise. Now, not me. I don't know the industry. I haven't visited a cocoa farm in the last 10 years. I don't know. But I'm listening to cocoa farmers, and they say that now the inputs are coming.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard them. You've seen the tapes and so on. So it means that there is some improvement. Now, be that as it may, who will be angry if it was possible to pay the cocoa farmers 10 million cedis per bag? Who will be angry?
Nobody.
Who will be angry? Will the cocoa farmers be angry because we are paying them 10 million cedis per bag? No, they won't be angry. But if we are responsible, any responsible citizen who is calling for increasing the producer price of cocoa should be telling us where the money should be coming from. Otherwise, it is irresponsible. Pay them, pay them. Where is the money coming from? What in the national budget should we sacrifice in order to pay cocoa farmers? And if you're able to come and say, look, this expenditure is not worth it, this expenditure is useless, and that we might as well divert this expenditure in order to pay cocoa farmers, then we are making sense. Then we can come along. But simply shouting, pay them, pay them, pay them, and so on, it's a bit problematic for me. It doesn't sound very responsible for politicians to just be shouting, pay them, without showing us where the money is going to come from. I hope I make some sense.
I follow.
You understand?
I follow your argument.
Because clearly, the indicators are that even in dollar terms, the purchasing price of our cocoa has come down.
Yeah.
Even in dollar terms. If you come to add the significant improvement in exchange rate, the cedi's exchange rate and so on, the cedi value also comes down again. So what is it that we can do in terms of balancing our needs, our aspirations and so on, in order to be able to generate sufficient resources to pay the cocoa farmer what is decent? Then the question arises as to what really is decent, and so on. We have to address it and stop this populism. You understand? Because what we're doing essentially is populism. You've seen a weakness. You've seen the government struggling to find resources to pay cocoa farmers. Let us dip in there and deepen the crisis in the hope that we come to power. That's irresponsible politicking. Completely irresponsible politicking.
Well, how do you respond to other people who say, and I've heard the spokesperson for the minorities, I think is a ranking member on agriculture and cocoa affairs. Now he says that the government should take the blame for bringing the cedi, or sorry, for appreciating the cedi, because that is what is hurting, is one of the things that's hurting the cocoa farmers. So the government must take full responsibility for that.
Fantastic. No, really fantastic.
Yes.
So
why did you strengthen the cedi?
Fantastic. That's what I'm saying. So the opposition is angry with government for making the cedi stronger.
Yes.
Okay. What do you want me to say?
Okay.
No, do you want me to say anything?
No, you don't have to.
The opposition is saying that we are angry with government for making the cedi stronger,
Yes,
and that the cedi should have remained very weak.
They warned the government against bringing friends appreciating the cedi. They said they warned the government, and that was going to hurt exports.
Well, I'm not saying it.
Yes.
Did I say it?
No, you didn't.
They are saying it.
Yes.
That we should whip the government for making the cedi strong. Everybody is listening.
Okay.
Everybody will make their own judgment.
All right. All right.
Moro.
So let me read a few messages.
Before you read the messages.
A few messages that I can bring you in. Let me bring in the viewers. Because we actually have just 5 minutes to go. I beg you, let me bring in the viewers. We've been talking for almost two and a half hours.
Yes. I will surrender it
to him. Okay, all right. So Eben says that Moro agree perfectly with Uncle Pratt's submission that Dr. Randy can't be blamed at all. Randy should rather stay and bring more reforms to the sector. The MPP noisemakers should give us a break.
And in fact, Moro, who says that it is the chief executive of Cocoa Board who determines the producer price?
No, he doesn't.
Only and
please don't.
Listen,
please don't.
Only somebody who doesn't know about the cocoa industry can come to that conclusion.
Anyway,
chief executives don't determine the producer price. So
Collins Adumako Mensah says I should say hello to you.
Oh, hi Collins, how are you?
And that he said he's wondering why you would expect me to remember what happened in 1957. No, I don't think he said that exactly. But yes, but I get it, Collins. I get it. Kojocho Mbafo says that, look, Moro, it's very strange to me that Joseph Boahin Edu was the chief executive officer of Cocoa Board for 8 years. After he left office, his son has now become the arch defender of his tenure in office. Can anyone remind me whether they have seen sons defending the legacy of their fathers after they have left office? Also, is it true that in 2023-2024, cocoa farmers weren't paid for 9 months? Did the NPP hold press conference asking for the CEO to be sacked? Kojocho Mbafo wants to know. Alhaji Hamza from Peg Farm says that, Assalamu alaikum, my brother in Islam. It is sad listening to the functionaries of the NPP and minority group in Parliament speak about the crisis in the cocoa sector. I hear the minority calling on government to borrow to settle the cocoa farmers. My brother, the reason behind the idea is to force the government to go back to the IMF so that they can use that as a campaign message. I will call on cocoa farmers to bear with President Mahama, and very soon their problems will be resolved. Moro, Randy is not going anywhere today and will not go anywhere tomorrow. They should give us a reason for him to go. And that's from Hamza. Now, this one here from Kwame Saponasedu from the CDD, a very good friend. He says that inflation is 3.8%. This means prices are increasing at an average of that rate compared to last year. Can Honorable Titus tell us the percentage by which the items he quotes have increased by his view? Can he then check by what percentages those items have increased as per the inflation report released by the Ghana Statistical Service? Based on that, can he explain what he means by the inflation rate doesn't reflect? Hopefully that will make me get his point. Now, Kwame Acidity says that, good morning. The current cocoa reduction is largely due to falling world market prices and inherited debt by previous government. And many farmers are satisfied despite the reduction because they receive free fertilizers and agrochemicals. And it's a special greetings to Dr. Adam Sebefia, incoming NDC National Vice Chair. And this one here from Kofi Apenu says that, please tell Honorable Glover, the Ghanaians have read in between the lines. Bamia will soon be dragged before the law. The bottom-up election of him is to be used in his defense. They would say because NDC knows he would win the 2028 election, that's so they want him imprisoned. This is all the bottom-up approach was meant for, nothing more. Kofi, I don't quite get the import of your message. Anyway,
it's very clear. You can disagree with him, but
he says nobody's going to drag Dr. Bamia to the court and so on. I don't know for crime committed.
You are right. Yes. I don't know what crime Dr. Bamia has committed.
Okay.
But he's saying that he was elected early because of the possibility that he'll be dragged before the court.
Okay, that's what he meant.
This is to provide an excuse.
Okay, like a shield.
Yeah, like a shield.
Okay. You know. All right, so Dr. Nyawota Maklo is...
We can all disagree with him.
That's fine.
Yes,
Dr. Nyawota Maklo, yes. Good morning. We're getting fed up with the important national issues being politicized by the political class. The cocoa issue is a serious issue and must be handled as such. And it says that politics must be taken out of it. And the rank and file are getting fed up with serious national issues being politicized. I totally agree with you. The politicization of every facet of our lives is a big problem. A very big problem.
I can come in now.
So, and then finally, and I can give some 2 minutes. From Mystic Wonder Avukor inside the Sawami Registers. Good morning to you. Today, the incompetent, disorganized, confused MP has become the spokesperson for the cocoa farmers after they mismanaged the economy miserably and messed up with the cocoa sector. The Nanado Dr. Bamia-led government took COVID-19 levy from Ghanaians, which Ivory Coast did not. But today, the hypocrites NPP are comparing cocoa price in Ghana to that of Ivory Coast. Odupa, you can come in.
Moro.
Yes, sir.
Kwesi is saying that the minority's explanation or statement to let Ghanaians know the agony and the deception that the NDC government has given to cocoa farmers is an irresponsible political. I find it a bit unfortunate. I find it totally unfortunate.
Why?
That this is the pain that cocoa farmers are going through. And as a minority in parliament,
you are interpreting what I said.
Interpretation
is not exactly what I said.
When you're talking, I was quiet.
Yes.
So please,
okay.
just be in your seat.
You are now
what you are saying that
what
the minority said is irresponsible politicking.
Okay.
What is so painful that cocoa farmers have had their their prices reduced, and they are talking all over the place. Ghanaians are contributing to that conversation, and we said that conversation is irresponsible politicking.
You see what he's doing?
It's not fair.
Please advise him.
Well, it's not fair.
Advise him.
Number two.
No, that's his interpretation of what he said.
So he should say
please.
That's his interpretation of what I said.
Okay, that is my interpretation of what you said.
Exactly.
Good.
So keep it.
Because the viewers are watching us. They are watching us. Again, from the days of Adam, cocoa syndication has been used to buy beans all over the country. But in 2024, when they did the cost analysis, averagely between $120 to $150 million, the amount that will procure or will succeed, they decided no, we can't spend $120 million to $150 million as costs. So cocoa buyers, if indeed you want our beans, this is our accounts. Okay? Pay the money into the accounts, we'll do the necessary arrangement and supply with the beans. What is more rational, what is more important than this one?
Okay.
And the NDC are complaining that we didn't arrange syndication. We did not arrange syndication because the cost of the syndication was becoming too expensive.
Okay.
So would that $120 to $150 million can be used in another form to support the cocoa farmers.
Okay.
Nothing has changed. The cost of labor a day in the criminally managed economy under Akufo-Addo and Bawumia was 50 cedis a day. Cocoa labor.
Cocoa labor?
Yes.
How much is it today?
50 cedis a day. Now it has gone to 120. I hear the cocoa farmers. They spend 50 cedis a day labor on their cocoa farms. Now it has gone between 100 to 120 cedis a day. The chemicals they use has moved. Has moved from 100 cedis to 200 cedis.
So how?
It depends on the area.
How is that possible?
That is what is happening. I watch them on social media and their videos. They are complaining.
But those chemicals are supposed to be cheaper today than they were
Please.
And
I've been giving you the video. Do you watch the video? Moro.
No, I haven't said
the videos I've been sending you.
I'm just saying
I'm asking you. Don't ask me. Watch the video I send you.
I'll watch it.
Watch the videos.
I will.
Because I know you ask me questions. That's why I send them to you.
Really?
So that you be in sync with me when I'm making my analysis.
But that's serious.
I'm telling you, this is what they are going through.
That's serious.
That is what they are going through. And bottom line, no rational cocoa farmer will be happy that they have reduced his price. Then he will clap for government. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen anywhere. So those who are sitting on high horse, praising the government for reducing cocoa farmers, the cocoa farmers are there. Global Info Analytics and IEA, they should go to the cocoa farmers. It's a whole major constituency in this country and find out whether they are happy for government to reduce their price. At worst, maintain it for them.
Right.
Cote d'Ivoire is here. Why have they maintained at 3,600? They should also reduce it. So for me,
you know
I am not the problem. The minority is not the problem.
Right. You know
the problem is on the government.
You know the point you made.
They should go and fix it.
You know the point you made about 2024. And your reason, or what you know, has been the reason why the government had a shift in policy from doing syndicated to now asking the LBCs to go and buy. You say it was because it was becoming more expensive.
Of course, that was.
But I've also heard Randy Abbey, who's the chief executive, say that it had become expensive because Cocoa Board's books were very bad. Remember the 70 billion cocoa bills, which had to be restructured as part of the DDP.
When did
the market watchers had seen the books of Cocoa Board, and I noticed that, look, if this guy, if we give them this loan, they can't pay. And that's why they floated, they applied, but nobody was ready.
They never applied.
No, they said they did.
They did.
They did.
They never applied.
In fact, they did.
I have listened to Randy. What do you call it?
Randy even said it.
Brian. But Achampo saying they're giving the reason why would not go for the syndication.
No, they tried.
Because of the cost involved. I had Brian clearly.
So question now is
clearly
anyway.
That was the more reason. But it's not good. It's not good that you not go and ask them to pay.
It doesn't make sense.
And supply the
Look, it doesn't make sense. Obviously, after running the cocoa industry for so long, you need loans to purchase cocoa from farmers. That policy is a bad policy. It doesn't make sense at all. You understand? But nonetheless, we could not qualify for the loan because of the state of our books.
It's as simple as that. Okay. Mr. Kwesi Pratt, I want to thank you very much for joining us, and it's been a very interesting conversation today.
And special thanks to Titus Global.
Is it?
Thank you to my God.
Special thanks to Titus Global.
Thank you
for having the nerve.
Why?
To stay through this discussion, stay with some vim, you know. I mean,
why he's here? To defend his party. And his government.
Because if it's in Akufo-Addo's time, I know they will be so hard on us. But today you are playing safe. You want to navigate well, knowing him. Knowing Kwesi how he is so hard on Akufo-Addo Bawumia. You didn't see that he's dancing around the whole thing, making sure. Kwesi, please. I know you like the way you know yourself. I know you like the way you know yourself. So Kwesi, please.
Throughout my life, I've never been closer to any president Ghana has had than to Nana Akufo-Addo.
Oh, really?
Nana Akufo-Addo, I used to eat every day breakfast and lunch in his house. Wow. I used to see him every day.
So what changed?
Ask Nana Akufo-Addo, he'll tell you. The positions I take is not based on my friendship with leaders. I take principal positions when I come to sit here. If I was taking positions on the basis of friendship with presidents and so on, I'll be lying down for Nana Akufo-Addo to walk all over me. You know it. So stop that kind of politics. My politics is not informed by who is my friend. It's informed by rational examination of the issues before us, and honesty, and a commitment to my country.
Okay, see, the same rationality. And this cocoa matter is just an affair.
But you know the friendship between me and Nana Akufo-Addo. You know.
I know.
So how can you make such a claim?
So what I'm saying is that, of course, you'll be hitting hard. And that's why I'm measuring you with the same length. This is Cocoa Matter. You should speak for them.
But there's this question that keeps coming up. In fact, since Randy started his media outings or his media engagement, there's a question which keeps coming up because Randy keeps talking about how he inherited a mess. What was bequeathed to him.
and Randy together. Pair them on your show.
No, Miba. And how there have been some either misappropriation or criminal handling of of the state of affairs and things. The question which keeps coming up, and I don't know whether Uncle C can help me with this, which is that, look, when you indeed came across these sets of facts, what did you do with them?
It's a legitimate question. That question should not be directed to Randy. It should be directed to the NDC government. If it's true that all this rot was unearthed in the cocoa board, what did you do about it? Why did you have to wait for this crisis to emerge before you start pointing us to the rot that existed in the cocoa board? That's a legitimate question.
Moro.
So
listen. My only input I can make on this matter is that, in fact, when the cabinet met on this cocoa,
the emergency cabinet meeting,
one of the key points was investigation, forensic audit in the last 8 years. And for me, it should go beyond that. It should go back to the time of President Mahama from 2012 coming, for us to know exactly. But when you limit it to the last 8 years, you're not being fair. Go back from when he assumed office. The last 6 months in 2012, then the 4 years of his reign to 2016, he should go back. They shouldn't do what they call it, limited investigation. They should go back and they can give us a true picture and stop this.
So there's a regular view of our show, and this is about the second time he's asking this question. One, Mr. Abbas up here, he says, "Look, assalamu alaikum, my brother. Wa alaikum assalam alaji, and good to hear from you. Please, can Randy explain why he did not ask for a forensic audit on assuming office? The findings would have assisted to clarify the issues very well." And that's coming from Alaji Abbas up here. And then also this one here is that somebody's actually giving me some additional information that the situation was so bad in 2023 that Cocoa Board actually went to Dubai to look for a loan because people were not prepared to give us, the syndicated loan wasn't working. And there's somebody who's a player within the cocoa industry. And so, but anyway, somebody J says, good morning, Moro. Kwesi Pratt is right. Moro, could you believe that my family owns cocoa farm at Asamankesi area long before my grandfather was born? Moro, under the MP government 4 years ago, the cocoa was cut down because they needed sand to build a hospital. Now, one of the things that some people fear, and legitimately so, is that the whole idea of people giving their concessions to, illegal, miners, is something that may...
They make more money.
Yeah, they make more money. They make money. And that's one of our biggest fears. So we need to really get to the bottom of this cocoa thing and deal with it decisively. And I beg the politicians, stay out of it. That's the crown. Anyway, well, boss, good to see you once again.
Good to see you too.
Thank you very much. And also, my name is Al Dumo. Thanks for watching Good Morning Ghana. Let me just say that I'm going to end the show with this. Now, former students of Achimota School are joining us. We're running this school.
When is Brusel coming?
Okay. I'm told there's some update about this. Let me just quickly look at because I was under the impression I was going to be talking to. Okay,
Why?
So this Thursday. Okay, actually from Thursday from 9:30 to 10:30. That's from tomorrow, and there's the school's homecoming show. It makes its grand debut on Metro Television in Ghana, and it promises to be nothing short of nostalgic, exciting, and unifying. Now, the maiden edition of the school's homecoming show is designed to celebrate school pride, reconnect old students, relive unforgettable campus memories, and spotlight the spirit that binds us long after graduation. So, from marching band memories to house rivalries, dining hall stories, lifelong friendship. Now, this show will brings the heart of the school experience back to life, and is live on television here on Metro Television. So it's more than just a show. It's a movement to celebrate legacy, excellence, and the powerful networks built within our alma maters. So I'll be joined by Kwesi Kwetia, who's he's man on the beats as far as this big event is concerned. So Kwesi Kwetia will be joining me shortly. But whilst at it, so the question we have is back. He said, "Tell Titus when Motown is talking, Presec should keep quiet, should keep still."
Bro, tomorrow is my mother's 82nd birthday.
Oh, really?
Mrs. Agnes Nanyoko Titus.
Wow.
So wishing you happy birthday.
Wow. Happy birthday, Mom. That's tomorrow.
Happy birthday to your mother.
Yes.
Morning.
Last time, no me, Uncle see prayer came back. Get about the shitolu. Hello, something I don't.
No, Malaysia. It's the early morning.
Oh, early morning. Okay. Again, you make the best.
You are getting late.
Shitolu. Okay, come. I beg you. I did do Azumi. I beg you. So this was Dr. Tabako is back. Says, well, congratulate Kwesi on the issue of his relationship with the Kufuado. I had the same relationship with him. We can tell him our peace of mind, and he knows that. I know. Yes. Kwesi,
yes.
How far?
Good, better.
How are you?
I'm good, oh.
Good.
I was waiting to check from Uncle Kwesi and Titus Global.
Yes.
The schools that they went, but then they said no.
I said it time and again.
He said it time and again.
He said it time and again.
What school?
As for Titus, he went to Presec.
Presec, okay.
Yes. And he's also a proud alumni of Warwick University.
Warwick, okay. All right. That's also
in England. Yes. And anyway, so let's do this. I'm told there's a big launch tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
What are we launching tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. It's the official, or let's say the maiden edition of the school's homecoming program on Metro TV, and then the intention is to allow or give the platform, Metro TV's platform, to alumni of all the top senior high schools in Ghana. We're giving them the opportunity to come over here. Let's talk about some of the wonderful memories that they've had, and then some of the legends that have been made out of those memories. We're also going to pay attention to the legacy projects that they've been embarking on since they came out of schools, they've been to the university and so on. And the intention for the legacy projects is to look at all the projects per year to see which one stands out, and then we're going to be awarding these schools. So 1 to 3, we're going to be looking at the legacy projects. We have
a team of judges that will look at the projects, and then they will take out 3 out of all the projects and award them. So this is it. But then from tomorrow, it's the conversation. It's reliving the memories and also looking at some of the wonderful things that happened. What school did you go to?
Well, I'm a proud alumni. I'm a proud old school. I'm a proud old student of Adesado College.
All right.
Yes. Zebra boy.
Zebra boy.
Yeah, I'm a zebra boy.
All right. So I will be bringing them also. So best school. How sure are you that they're the best school?
Oh, come on.
Do you own the bragging rights as the best school? I'm just asking.
Of course we do.
How sure are you? Because at Adesado there is what?
You wait till we take our turn. You wait till we take our turn.
I'm going to bring the 3 of them over here.
Yeah, no problem.
So you wait for that one, and I'm sure that you're going to be on that show. I'm going to find out whether truly you are the best school in the central part of Ghana.
We'll give you 1,001 reasons. And you will give up. You'll join us.
We're going to find out when the time comes.
Yes, yes. So I thought this is more than a show. It's a movement to celebrate legacy.
It is. Yeah.
So this is big, isn't it?
It is.
But since we've been hosting some of the schools, some of the old students, and so how's the response been so far?
It's been great. I mean, some of them have been sending videos of the legacy projects and also the homecoming. Last weekend we had Wesley girls having their homecoming, and then this week, which is tomorrow, they're definitely coming for a review of what happened and also the legacy projects that they undertook as they celebrated their wonderful day. We also have Achimota on the 6th of March. They're going to, have the homecoming. There's going to be serious bonfire and many wonderful things that's also going to happen. Yesterday we had them on Good Afternoon Ghana. We had a great conversation, and they will also be here when we start tomorrow, which is the maiden edition, the official maiden edition of the school's homecoming program, coming live on Metro TV every morning, 9:30 to 10:30. And we're doing this just to, give those executives in their various offices something just to, sit down and laugh about. I mean, from Monday to Thursday, you've been doing a lot of work. So on Thursday, 9:30 to 10:30, just sit down, watch the show, enjoy the moment, relive some of their past glories, so that time comes, we call on you to come and join us so that we can continue with that conversation.
Okay, so it's all about the launch, the big launch, the official launch of the school homecoming. And so tomorrow, 9:30, we can't wait. So you're the man. Thank you. Kuzi, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Howard Mo. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bye-bye.